right, ladies and gentlemen, it's Monday, 12:06 p.m. Central
Standard.
Good job, Mark.
Wanted to back you up there, Travis.
You're always a helping hand.
Well, except for when it turns back to daylight time, and then you're going to fight with me.
No,
It's
you're
okay.
you always got a helping hand. You know what I mean?
What's in the cup, man? What's in the cup?
You got good hands.
What? God, you're so. What? What's in the cup?
It's a cup of Java. It's a cup of Joe, bro.
Okay, is it really?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, all right.
I already stained most of the kitchen with our methylene blue.
Good. You need that.
And, yeah, we pretty much got blue countertops now here at the Defiance Daily Show at Defiance HQ.
You know what that methylene blue will do for you? It'll put a little lead in your pencil.
I know what you do for me.
But stop. God dang, dude. What the? Oh, jeez.
You're being a little bit kind of prude today.
No, not at all.
Are you Prudy Pruitt? Is that going to be your nickname now?
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
Prudy Pruitt.
Whenever you get weird, man, I'm just going to be like, what the hell are you talking about? Man, how was your Thanksgiving? That's what you
No, I want to get back to this. I want to know.
Did you have a ham? Did you have a turkey?
What's going on with you, Mark? Did you think about my honey baked ham?
No, I really never even crossed my mind. You're just so weird, dude. You're so freaking weird. Do you have turkey or did you have ham or did you have roast beef or did you have a Swanson?
A roast beef?
But some people have roast beef for Thanksgiving, bro.
Did you have roast beef for Thanksgiving?
No. Hey, there were people in the Muslim community that ate halal on Thanksgiving.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because it's big here in Texas, that Muslim community.
Yeah, they got a bunch of those. So what they do is they
nothing weird at all about any of that stuff.
Well, they eat weird stuff.
Nothing at all.
They were eating goats and stuff, and they were, I guess, goats that were past their prime, if you know what I mean. You know what happens to goats in the Muslim communities, but the goats have to be young.
Oh, they got to eat them, or
before they eat them. Before they eat them, they have other uses. Those are goats. But they have to be juvenile goats. They're only interested in the juvenile goats. They're not interested in the adult goats.
Some cultures are better than others.
Durka.
Some cultures are better than others. Am I right or right?
Look, I'm not casting dispersions. I'm not being mean. I'm not doing anything. I'm just saying that.
Are you Islamophobe, Marcus? Is that where you're getting at here?
No, I'm not.
I don't like the lights in here.
I'm not afraid of Muslims. Not afraid at all.
I don't like the lights in here.
Well, you got them going now.
And it's your fault.
And well,
I'm going to blame everything on you today, dude. Welcome to the show.
Man, I'm up in the great blue north.
You getting any snow up there?
Cold. It's cold, man.
Yeah, it's pretty damn freezing up here. Look, I got the stack ready. Okay. We got the stack ready today. You ready to go over a stack? I'm going to piss Mark off with these stories, actually.
Oh, fired up.
Hey, Roger, can you come here a second? This stuff with Roger, dude. I know he had a good Thanksgiving. We gave him a full case of Libby's, and I think that was a little too generous. You know what I'm saying?
It could have been. It really, really could have been.
Yeah, we're doing this live. I don't give a shit. Okay. All right, that's a little bright for my taste. Okay. I'm just getting a little blinded here. I'm trying to look at your beautiful face. I'm seeing the purple dots because I'm blinded because Roger decided to just light up the freaking studio like a damn chimney. All right, there he goes. Sorry, folks. I get a little animated with him. He's okay.
How was your Black Friday?
Oh, I think we're gonna have to queue up some Black Friday videos today.
Did you enjoy?
My Black Friday was great because I didn't go run into major retail outlets like a doofus, and instead went to a football game.
Oh, is it football season?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
But as far as my Black Friday went, it was fantastic.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot of action, just some good old turkey the day before Thanksgiving, and then then some football rivalry traditions, which were fantastic. Oh my God, my heart is burning. Yeah, it was pretty good. Mark, how was yours, man? Did you miss me, dude?
Listen, dude, I always miss you, Travis. I was just hoping you were okay. You know, it's a brave new world out there, buddy. And I know you like to live around populated areas, and dude, you're a high target. Yeah,
Yeah, I
people.
like to put myself in risky positions. It's part of the nature of what I do here.
Well,
It's just part of the
dude,
nature of what I do
you're
here.
good at it.
Whether it's a book we're deciding to publish or putting myself on these video feeds here and expressing my thoughts worldwide with you. Yeah, man, pretty high running target here these days, wouldn't you say, Marcus?
Oh, I think it was really, yes, absolutely. But you know what? Thanksgiving, fantastic. We're officially in the Christmas season and the Christmas spirit, and I'm going to really go all out this year because I want to bring Christmas back, the Western culture back. I want to bring back, let's make America Norman Rockwell again. You know who Norman Rockwell is, right?
I do not. Why don't you?
The painter. We'll pull up You're the computer guy. Just
Norman Rockwell.
Norman Rockwell, Travis. Yeah, and he was he did pictures. He painted for the Saturday Evening Post. This is back well before you were born, probably back before your parents were born. But anyway, he very, very well known. Classic, and he had a gift for capturing the essence.
Oh, that's that famous Thanksgiving. Okay, I've seen these before. Here, let me see if I can for the audience.
Exactly.
I'm getting a little better at this whole sharing thing.
Good.
We're sharing pretty good, buddy.
Okay.
You like that?
I don't see it, but it sounds good.
Well, I'm getting it up there. Okay.
Oh,
we have some damn patience, you freaking boomer.
Well, that's what she said. But anyway, Norman Rockwell was a master at capturing Americana in the 40s, 50s, through that time period, the golden age, the amazing time of America before the fall. And boy, it's so hard to believe that we have gone from that to where we are today in just a lifetime. And for the life of me, it's so it's discouraging. I'll be honest, it's discouraging, but at the same time, it gives us a goal, gives us something to shoot for, to get back to,
something to get better.
Yeah, we got to get better.
We got to get better.
Yeah.
These are some classic ones. Is he the one who painted? There was one where there was it was like a blue collar man. He had his beat up boots and his son was all dressed up, getting ready to go. I think it's this one here. I love this one. Let me see if I can pull this up.
It could.
Oh, if it wants me to just, oh, there we go. I know that's hard to see, but
it's hard to see, but that's okay.
That's really, really awesome. Now, this one here, of course, you're seeing his scuffed up. He's got the cigarette in his mouth, and that's what it's all for right there, Mark.
Yep.
That's what it's all for.
Well, for generations, that's what America was about. And it was, it wasn't about an easy life. It was about, just having an opportunity and something to shoot for. And you had the freedom. We just had a lot of freedoms. But within that, we were also very self-controlled. We were a Western Christian patriarchal culture. This is before multiculturalism, before we've let America be invaded with all these third world animals. And, America was just much, much better. This painting. Yeah. Okay. I'm not familiar with the actual artist, but I am with this one. And I figured, because they all kind of look the same, but that's a hardworking man thriving to make a better future for this one right here. Yeah.
This is why we do it. Right.
Isn't that crazy?
As a wise man once said, this is why we fight.
Yeah.
This is what you're that wise man, Mark.
Is that what it is? Yeah, I think I've heard somebody else say that'd be like a Michael Scott, Wayne Gretzky quote, You miss every shot you don't take. Michael Scott. Subtitle Wayne Gretzky.
Oh, man. Well, folks, happy Monday, folks. Thank you for tuning in to the Defiance Daily Show. You can catch us on Instagram, on YouTube, on X, on Facebook. Just look up the Defiance Daily Show, and you'll be able to find us there. Don't forget to check out our sponsors as well.
Somebody was asking if we were on OnlyFans yet.
We do not have an OnlyFans account. We did flirt with the TikTok account, but we got flagged.
Did we? Yeah,
didn't we, Marcus?
We
got flagged pretty quickly. But again, if you want to know how to support us, go and check out our sponsors over at jbradleypools.com. That's jbradleypools.com. If you're in Texas and in the market for a swimming pool, yes, I know it's 44 degrees here in Conroe, Texas, but fear not. Give it about a week. We'll go through fall, summer, and spring all backwards and all combobulated once again with 98% humidity, and you will be able to swim. You can also get your pool heated. That's J. Bradley Custom Pools. If you're curious about their services and pricing, call for a free estimate at 832-813-5340. That's 832-813-5340. They are artists in their own right here over at J. Bradley Custom Pools. Go and check out their pictures over here. They do wonderful work. Chemtrails are not included, but
yeah, those are bonus.
If you get it on the right day, you can get some chemtrails.
Aren't they running a winter special? Like if you get a pool in January, they'll bring out some block ice, put in your pool, and include a polar bear cub.
That's true. I think the owner Joe.
Yeah, Joe.
He chisels the ice sculpture himself.
He does, and then floats it in the water, and then brings a polar bear cub that you can get with.
That's true. You can pet the polar bear.
Yeah, you can pet the polar bear.
You can pet the polar bear, and yeah, you're welcome, Joe. That's all. We just included that.
That's gotta be unique. We'll call that the Travis and Mark special.
That's the Travis and Mark special. Yeah. Again, that's J. Bradley Custom Pools. Go ahead and hit that phone number 832-813-5340. That's 832-813-5340. Please, folks, let them know Defiance sent you. Okay, don't forget that one. Extremely important. All right? Don't forget that one. It's extremely important. Okay, here, let's go to the next one here. And of course, go ahead and also check out one of our other sponsors. We depend on them for quite a bit. They are the wizard behind the curtain. And no, I'm not talking about Roger. I'm talking about rftmedia.com. That's rftmedia.com. Everything from technical support, from automation to comprehensive consolidation, technically speaking, we utilize them for a majority of our technical and IT needs. That's rftmedia.com. Go and check out their services here at rftmedia.com. So everything from web design to business technology, they've got you covered. For custom solutions, they are working on some incredible stuff here, folks. I can't say enough about our RFT Media. Specific tailored strategies for whatever you're looking at, everything from SS marketing to everything in between. Go ahead and check them out as soon as you can. That's rftmedia.com. If you want to contact them, hit that content link right there and fill out the information to get a good idea of what you're looking for. That's rftmedia.com. Please, folks, don't forget to let them know Defiance sent you. All right? We sent you. Roberts and Pruitt right here, folks. So very grateful and very appreciative of everybody's support. Oh, and of course, I need to be a good boy and also go ahead and plug other ways to support us. That's over at defiancepress.com. Folks, we are a media agency. We are a book publisher at the same time. Defiancepress.com. Look, we got Christmas around the corner. We got birthdays coming in. Other ways to support us, go and check out our book catalog over there at defiancepress.com. Browse our title, meet our authors. We've got a lot of incredible authors in our stove. Supporting our authors in turn supports the team here at Defiance Press and Publishing, minus Roger. Again, that's defiancepress.com. Look at those, the book catalog there. And we are in the process of sharing a number of different imprints and some reprint titles from way back when, over 95 years ago. And you listen, folks, you wouldn't believe the predictability, I'll call it, of some of these old fictional titles. And I always say it's programming you for the future. They were doing this as early as the 1900s. So stay tuned for more of that. Again, that's defiancepress.com. That's defiancepress.com. If you are looking for a publisher, you're in the market to get your book published, go ahead and get that get published link right there. Watch the video, follow the prompts, and just know when you submit your book, okay, we do not keep your manuscript unless you contract with us and we publish your book. Again, folks, we do not keep your manuscript. This is not a Somalia-run organization. This is not a third world operation we're running here. This is all based out of Texas. With our honor and integrity intact, we don't need to do anything like that. We're running legitimate business here. And again, if I was Somalian, though, probably
you'd be a retard.
You'd probably have some healthy amount of skepticism on what we're doing here, but we're not. So that's defiancepress.com. Hit the get published link, follow the prompts, and reach out to us at 281. Let me see. I can't remember the number off the top of my head. 281-581-9300. If you have any questions, that's 281-581-9300. Mark, why don't you give out your personal address too while you're at it?
Yeah, my personal address, social security number, driver's license number, and my address, phone number, and so forth. Sure. Yeah. Or you can just email me at Mark, M-A-R-K, at defiancepress.com. And if you do have a manuscript, please go to defiancepress.com, click on get published, simply fill out the information, upload your manuscript. That'll go through our review and selection department, and it'll be processed. It'll be reviewed, and they'll determine whether or not it's something that works for us. And then we'll go from there, and I'll reach out to you and we can go through some details and walk you through the process, and hey, man, make some exciting things happen.
Absolutely, Mark. Okay, now I wanted to see if we have any Black Friday chaos. You know, this is okay.
Well, I mean,
let's see what we can share. This is always I will say, I don't think it's as bad as it used to be. It used to be pretty awful.
We didn't have any in Paducah. We didn't have any Black Friday chaos.
I never really knew Paducah to be a victim of the Black Friday chaos, right? No, because you would know. You're the expert there.
Yeah, because you got Lum's Pharmacy, and that's pretty much where you go to get any of your stuff that you might need if you're trying to avoid going all the way into town to find a Walmart or something like that. So we just don't have any Black Friday chaos in Paducah. And if we did, probably wouldn't put up with it. So I don't know. What's it like in the big city? What did you find? Were people out there, taking video? Who goes shop? Why do people go shopping at stores now? Why don't they? Who's still shopping at stores?
I'm with you here, buddy. I have no idea why you would flock to any of these retail outlets after what we've seen over the past 5 years.
Maybe people like it. Maybe people are very social and they want to go out and just, rub shoulders with their fellow American.
Yeah, man. Rub shoulders. That's a good way. That's one way to.
Anytime I go anywhere near a city that's got crowds, it smells like curry and body odor. So I don't want nothing to do with it. So I don't know.
Are you hearing that?
Yeah. What's going on?
Can y'all hear the audio on that?
Crashing and what's going on there?
All right. Let me see if I could play this video. Okay. This is at, this is on X. Two guys got into an altercation at Valley Fair Mall in San Jose. One guy pulled a gun from his waistband and started firing. One man was shot, as well as an adult woman and a 16-year-old girl. Let's see what we get on this video here. Buckle up, folks. This will be a fun one. All right. Here, let's...
Are these the usual suspects, or is this going to surprise us?
I'm going to surprise you.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to surprise you.
Good, about time.
Why is that audio doing that? Okay. Hang on. I'm just going to mute the audio. We'll just look at the chaos together here.
I don't know what you thought it was doing, but it wasn't really doing anything.
You seen that?
I'm seeing something, but I don't really know. I mean, the cameras everywhere.
Think that's the security guard chasing the fella. That's making me really dizzy. I'm not gonna lie.
So that's Bart.
Quality content right here.
Yes,
I think this is Mall Cop running for the suspects here.
You know,
Valley Fair Mall, San Jose. Okay, that's the uncut footage. I'm just gonna fast forward through here.
Kind of reminds me of a Bigfoot video.
Yeah, those are a
little blurry and kind of shaky.
Oh God! Look at the caption on this.
What?
Oh God! I gotta share this one. Hey God. This post, somebody put this. Every day is Black Friday when you're black.
Good.
And I'll just.
Well, I mean,
listen, look at these comments here. 100% off with promo code Smith and Wesson.
Oh boy, here we go. Oh God.
Oh man, yeah, I guess that's true. There's lots of Black Fridays going on, depending on how you want to look at it.
I mean, it's all perspective, Travis. We just don't have any issues like that in Paducah.
No, you don't. Okay, see, this is the kind of stuff. This one looks like it's from last year. These are 32-inch TVs going for $40.
Oh no.
Okay, let's see if I can get this one up here. Y'all bear with me.
Oh no.
Imagine going crazy over a 30-inch TV like this. Just God help us, man.
Looks like a bunch of
Look, man, it's a full-blown fight for a
32
inch 32 inch. That's not even where are you gonna oh my God.
So you can't order these online?
Apparently not. You got to go into the store and go through a WWE brawl just to get your 32-inch $40 TV.
Then I would.
Which honestly, guys, these Black Friday sales supposedly at one point in the beginning of the year, 10 months before it, they're generally running for the price they're advertising on Black Friday.
Right.
So we're all just mindless consumers a lot of the time. So this is embarrassing. This is something you'll never catch us here doing at the Defiance Daily Show. Will we, Mark?
I've never even dreamed of doing anything. It's just
you've never gotten in a fist fight over a 32
No,
inch.
I've really kind of avoided that, to be honest with you. I've avoided it very effectively. Never had a problem. It's never been an issue.
That's good for you, dude. Good for you, dude.
I mean, I just it makes no sense to me. Who wants to go into a crowd like that today?
Man, this is just some absolute craziness. Let's see here. Yeah, that was the breaking update on that Black Friday shooting in San Jose, by the way. Yeah, 3 people were shot at Westfield Valley Fair Mall on San Jose, Santa Clara border Friday evening around 5:40 p.m. So not even night. Shooting people in broad daylight over Black Friday. Marcus, shoppers sprinted for cover and sheltered inside stores as gunfire erupted, causing chaos inside the mall and gridlock outside. An adult man, an adult woman, and a 16-year-old girl were shot. All suffered non-life-threatening gunshot wounds and were rushed to the hospital. Police say the 2 female victims appear to be innocent bystanders. Yeah, according to SJPD, the shooting stemmed from an altercation between two individuals, not a random attack on shoppers. The suspected shooter fired before officers arrive, and no weapon has been recovered. So, I can't say I'm that surprised. I think we all know what happens here at these Black Friday events, don't we, Mark?
Yes, we do. I'm not shocked or surprised.
I'm
only surprised by the people that
point.
still go. I just, you have to question the IQ of the individual. That you really have to question the character, IQ, and judgment of somebody that would go to Black Friday, whatever, and take their kids. That person is really just begging to be eliminated.
You're just asking for it at that point, right?
Well,
you're kind of just asking.
No, you're proving how low IQ you actually are. Yeah, it's just
not an ideal scenario, mate.
Yeah, you're hoping those people are the ones that don't survive and pass on their genes because they're not helping us. They're not.
I did see. So this is an interesting breakdown. So some of the check. Okay, sorry. Some of the as far as some of the scans go, why is this commentators? This looks like it looks like from a TikTok account called "Is It Gay?" But whatever, we'll ignore the TikTok account. But this woman,
is that the name of the TikTok account? Is that the name of it?
So I think it's called "Is It Gay?"
That's a great. Well, it's a good.
That we could build a whole show around some.
We
of that,
could do that
information.
By the way, so John Boucher is in the house. I just wanted to mention
John Boucher. Oh yeah, man.
We need to get him in, man. State of Texas needs John.
We really need people like John. That's to say the least.
Anyway, didn't mean to distract you. I'm thinking about is it gay? And then
so this woman is an avid Michaels shopper. So all you ladies out there who are Michaels shoppers, she builds Christmas villages, so she's always buying craft supplies. She shows with proof on Black Friday, Michaels doubled the price of items and called it a Black Friday sale. They then removed all the scanners from the store so you couldn't check. They also removed the price tags off of all the Black Friday sale items, but left all the price tags on the regularly priced items, making the price 2 times and then calling it a sale is a fraud and against advertising laws. So, but folks, I mean, this is par for the course. This is a psychological operation on people as far as getting them flocking into the shops and getting ripped off and thinking you're getting kind of a deal here. So, yeah. We are not supporters of Black Friday. Okay.
We're not.
We don't support Black Friday here. So we're about to crap all over it. All right.
Okay. All right. Good.
Boot, Mark.
Tough love it is.
Tough love it is. Okay. I'm going to share the screen.
Now, Travis, can I ask you one question?
You may.
Have you cleared this through our sponsors? I mean, does Joe Bradley know that?
No, but they don't run Black Friday scams. Okay. So I think they're safe. They're safe from scrutiny.
Okay.
They're safe from scrutiny.
Their prices are always like the best prices and service and all that. So that's what I just wanted to make sure, because, sometimes we've been known to jump the gun a little bit, as they say.
Yeah, just a little bit there. Well, I'm gonna show this video here, and folks, if the audio is messed up, please.
It's Travis's fault.
Don't be afraid to yell at Roger. Mark, we gotta stay on. Come on, it's Roger.
Travis, I'm not there.
Roger.
Travis,
right, I'm muting now. So if y'all have trouble on the audio, just reach through the screen and slap me. Roger.
I have come across a Black Friday scam like no other in Michaels. I am an avid Michaels shopper, and I know prices. And let me show you some crazy shit. I build winter villages, okay, with these houses. Okay, I know the price. It is $6.49. I'll include a picture. Now, These are 50% off today. So I thought I was going to come in here and get it for $3.20. No, $12.99. It cost more today than it usually does. Editing me bumping in here. What I meant is that it cost more on the Black Friday sale to buy it with the 50% off than it would to buy it on a regular day. Okay, we all hear about items being marked up on Black Friday. No, it was costing more to buy it with the 50% off than it would to buy it on a regular price the week before. Let me show you something else. Anything that's on sale on Black Friday today has had the tag removed. Anything that's not on sale hasn't had it removed, so it's only on these items that have had the tags removed. You ready for the most insane part? Price check? There used to be a price check here. Every single price check has been removed. I was here last week. They were here.
Oh, no. Dude.
Also, every year they have at least a 40% off one regular price item, but usually it even includes sale items on Black Friday. They had no coupons. You couldn't use any coupons on anything because then you catch them in the freaking act of all this.
Travis, I've got an idea. You want me to hear
What's your idea? I mean, that's a pretty good breakdown right there, guys.
Okay, but you want me to tell you who's behind it? I'll tell you exactly. It's the Jews.
Israel has entered the chat.
Dude, you know what it is. She said they took out the scanners, the price scanners. Dude, that's a typical Jew move.
Oh, man. You've gone full anti-Semitic. You were going to get a visit from Pam Bondi. I know it.
Dude, I'm sorry. I can't help myself. That whole thing has gotten so ridiculous and so out of control. I just have to have fun with it at this point.
It's a little out of control, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a little out of control.
So anyway, that's what I thought. But I guess so is the question, is it gay? Is that the question? Is that why she was on that TikTok? Because I'm going to vote yes.
think that's
I'm
the
gonna
name.
Say,
I think that's just the name of the person who reposted it. I don't think that's her account. She doesn't seem like the type that would.
I mean, she's memorized the prices down.
Is it gay?
Pennies. Yeah, but I was going to say yes, definitely gay. Definitely gay.
Yeah, that qualifies as gay. That's. I mean,
there's a lot of gay
scamming people with your Black Friday prices and then switch it. That's gay.
But she had prices memorized, bro, down to the penny. Do you? Okay,
pretty,
let me ask you this, Travis. So let's just do a little test here to do a little side by side, if you will, live, real time here on the Defiance Daily Show with Roberts and Pruitt. What is the Libby's Vienna sausages? Do they come in 4-packs or 6-packs? I know you get them by the case, but if I was to go, do they come in a 4-pack?
You're putting me on the spot here.
Yeah, well, it's your number one food. I figured or does your wife get those?
It's not the same. Talking about this when you're not here in the office.
I know,
so
but
I want to open a fresh can with you.
I know you
on
do.
My side.
I know you do. But
because Mark loves the smell. Like I was looking at Libby's broth wax candles, where it's a Libby's broth, but it's got hardened wax in it. You light and then it just fills your home with the aroma of Vienna sausages. I was looking for that for you, buddy.
Okay, but all right. But my question is, on a 6-pack, the box. I think they come like in a box, right? Let's say
I think you're right. I think it's a 6-pack. I'm thinking 3.
What is a 6-pack? If I go into Kroger or I go into HEB or I go into Walmart and I go, man, I'm having a hankering. If I don't get a Vienna sausage right now, I'm gonna scratch the hell out of my countertop or something's gonna bad happen. Okay, so I've got to get some Libby's. I got to get some Libby's Vienna sausages right now. Okay.
Okay.
What is my cost? What's that going to run me?
I think you're at like $1.67 a can
for a 6-pack. Oh, per can. Okay. Cause I'm asking about the 6-pack, but you do have.
Oh, you're talking about like a crate case.
No, I know you get the cases of I'm talking about the regular little 6-pack of Vienna that normal people buy. They don't buy the big industrial cases, military government issue cases of Vienna sausage like you do. They go into Walmart and they get, the kids, my husband likes, I don't know, that's weird. Some Vienna sausages. They get a 6-pack, a box of 6 cans of Vienna sausage. What's that going to set you back?
I don't know. Maybe $8 or so. Well, I could be wrong on that.
Okay. Yeah. See, you don't have the price down.
Wonder
this
if,
lady in Michael's, dude, she had it down to the penny, bro.
Listen,
she had the little.
some of these arts and craft gals, man, they know exactly what they know.
Had it
they
down
know
to the penny, buddy. You
Ooh,
know,
Libby's makes corned beef. It's cool.
well, yeah, corned beef. They don't have Libby's doesn't make Spam because who makes Spam? Is it just Spam who makes Spam?
Spam makes Spam.
Okay, because Spam, and I know you like Spam, and you know if you prepare Spam right, if you prepare it correctly, and if you're hungry enough, it's not bad. Are you a Spam guy? I've got to figure you're a Spam guy.
I've never I've never ate the Spam. Just
really
Libby's.
Just the
Libby's.
Libby's. Okay,
Look at that. I was way off. That was like double the price. You can get one on Amazon for $4.84 for a pack of
six pack.
And
Look
this
at
isn't
that.
Libby's, so
That's armor, dude. Now, would you read the ingredients for us, please, Travis? What is the
it's
ingredients?
EBT eligible, by the way.
EBT eligible. All right. Well, that makes sense.
Hey. There's no corn syrup in Libby's. I know that.
So,
okay.
Oh my God, look
Here's
at
the
all the corn
ingredients.
syrup. Wow,
You're
they're
gonna
full of
make me
sugar.
read this.
Yeah.
Mechanically separated chicken, water, salt, corn syrup, less than 2% of beef, pork, dextrose, natural flavors, whatever those are, sodium nitrate, garlic powder, and chicken broth. Everything a growing boy needs. Am I right or am I right?
Okay, now looking at that, it's not quite as bad as what I thought it would be, but I'll tell you what, it's got a lot of sugar in it. What is it? I mean, I wonder what.
Oh, does it have sugar in it?
You said corn syrup, dude. That's
Corn syrup.
That's
like
worse
guaranteed.
than sugar. That's
brain
worse
damage.
than sugar.
Brain. I call that brain damage, bro.
Yeah, that's what gives you the Alzheimer's.
Okay, a pack of 5, you can get one for $4.90. So Libby's comes at a bit of a premium there, buddy.
Wow. But it's mechanized chicken parts. Which,
yes, mechanically separated chicken broth, water, less than 2% of salt, spices, beef, pork, sugar, sodium phosphate. So yeah, so Vienna, so Libby, my Libby, they're
using pure cane sugar.
They don't there's less than a full gram. So it says it's at 0, but they obviously do use it.
That's sugar, man. They gotta have the sugar.
13 grams of fat per can. Man, that's gonna give you some energy. I might have to eat one on air here.
Yeah, I think you need to break out some
so
Vienna
everybody
sausage.
Can smell it.
For people that don't know about the delicacy of the Vienna sausage, do you know the origin of the Vienna sausage?
All right, this is where we don't know if Mark is making stuff up on the fly or he's actually being studious right now. Go ahead and tell us, Mark. We're watching you. No, we're watching you. We're watching you.
Watch me.
What have you got to say?
Asking. Well, I'm just wondering if you knew what the origin of the Vienna sausage was.
I do not.
Well, as you know, Vienna, Switzerland, right?
Mm-hmm.
That is where Napoleon was born. A lot of people don't know that. Okay. And what are some of the fun facts that we know about Napoleon?
He was little.
He was a short in stature, but he also had what? Everybody knows, kind of a joke, but everybody knew he had a little winky. Okay. He had a little winky. So he had one of the butchers in Vienna there when he was a very young age. Instead of making, the bigger kielbasa size sausages, which made him just feel even worse about his little guy, he said, "Hey, I want to invent the Vienna sausage." And he came up with a little bitty one so that anyway, that's how the Vienna sausage came around.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, folks, we're gonna fact.
You can do that. You can
quick.
do super grok. You can do super grok on that, and I'm telling you, that's where the Vienna sausage came from. It was inspired by Napoleon and his little member. And for those that don't know, Napoleon,
Vienna sausages, they do have a distinct European history, apparently.
Yes, they
but
do.
It was invented by a butcher from Frankfurt, Germany, who had moved to Vienna, which is why Vienna sausage is called Frankfurter. These short-thin sausages are traditionally made of pork. I'm not seeing anything about Napoleon's wiener.
Because here's the deal:
countries, cooked and often smoked wiener sausages bought fresh from supermarkets and butcher shops may be called by a name which translates in English as Vienna sausages. After having been brought to North America by European immigrants, Vienna sausage came to mean only a smaller, much shorter smoked and canned wieners rather than link sausage beginning about 1903.
What did I tell you? What did I tell you?
You're spot on there, Mark.
Inspired by Napoleon, and it took a German to engineer the sausage making machines to get them down to the little bitty, and so Napoleon felt better. Otherwise, he may have beaten the Brits at Waterloo. And
you are so full of shit.
Today, the British would be speaking French.
All right, folks. I'm going to change topics here for the sake of everybody.
What?
What? I did.
What is Dr. Gray? Hey, what does Dr.
Parker knows? Dr. Parker knows.
What is Dr. Parker?
Every time we get on, he just knows. He's getting real familiar with Mark's practices here at the Defiance Daily Show.
I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
Well, we love you, Mark. That's why you're here. Now,
I
have been I love Alex Jones memes. I love them, especially for Thanksgiving. Here was one that was going viral. This was pretty good. Let's see if I can share with you guys.
I told the globalists a long time ago, a minute. You want to fight, you better believe you've got one. And there are people all over this country engaging in the information war. We're going to smash your system. We're going to return the republic. We'll never be perfect, but my God, we're not going to keep babies alive and harvest their organs. We're not going to sell their parts for women's cosmetics. We're not going to have Pepsi with baby flavoring in it. I mean, what the hell have we become? Excuse me, but I told
That's when liberal Aunt Sherry asks me to pass the gravy. Okay, now this was something interesting because I showed this to somebody, and there's still folks that have no clue who Alex Jones is. And when they heard that part, they're like, really? That he made up that thing about Pepsi putting baby parts in their flavoring? No, he did not make that up. Here, let me see if I can find the article.
In fact,
did you hear about this one, Mark?
Yeah, oh yeah. And all the stuff that people come out and say, okay, Alex has lost his mind on this one. There's no way that this is da-da-da. Remember the gay frogs, all this stuff. And lo and behold, that son of a gun, it takes a little while for maybe the information to get out there. But guess what? We always find out about Uncle Alex. What always happens, Travis?
Right again.
People thought that he had lost his mind on the whole thing with the gay frogs. And it ends
turned
up
out to be right.
100% correct. Yeah, I find it that you're better off to just bet with Alex Jones. Not that I don't think he has 100% accuracy rate, but I think it's like 99% something, whatever.
It's pretty high up there. I always recommend people that yes. Now, of course, if you type this into Google, I remember when the story blew up, the fact checkers immediately came out. And it was from a biotech company called Xenomix that used aborted fetal cells in lab-based assay systems to mimic human taste receptors and identify potential flavor enhancers. So there was back and forth about were they used in the research and as an ingredient, or were they just used as research? So I guess that's a good segue into one of the stories I want to go because, folks, yes, we played on last week's show that gal that worked at Planned Parenthood talking about getting an increase in abortions at the clinic because she wanted a Lamborghini. Mm-hmm. The makeup industry, the food industry, they all have part. Even the vaccine industry has a huge part in using fetal tissue cells from aborted babies, excuse me.
Thank you.
To enhance flavoring, to put it in your cosmetic, so everything from your makeup to the lotion you're putting on your skin. Yes. A lot of that includes using cell matter from the abortion industry. Yes, that sounds disgusting, but it's absolutely true. Yeah, I remember back in 2012, this was, state bill outlaws use of fetuses in food industry. So this was 2012. So while people were still calling a lot of this stuff conspiracy theories, there was bills being introduced and state legislators addressing this type of issue that didn't come out of nowhere. A bill introduced in Oklahoma legislature has some folks scratching their heads as it prohibits the manufacturer of cell food or products which use aborted human fetuses. That was since the bill was introduced late last week by State Senate Ralph Shorty, a Republican from Oklahoma City. Corners of the internet have been buzzing with the news, with people trying to figure out two things. Is this real? And is there any reason the bill might be needed? So the bill goes on. And of course, this isn't anything new that came through the headlines. So, this goes back, I believe, I remember hearing about this all the way, I want to say 2003. And the senator says that his research showed there are companies in the food industry that have used human stem cells to help them research and develop products, including artificial flavorings. I don't know if it's happening in Oklahoma. He said it may be, it may not be. But what I am saying is that if it does happen, then they're not going to allow it to manufacture here. So again, and this was around the PepsiCo controversy with the flavor research from Cinemix to develop sweeteners and other flavorings. So, and again, we talked about this evil aspect, Mark, in our food industry, and even just the way they process animals at these huge corporate farms, caging in, not letting them move. And no, this isn't a PETA advertisement. We're not going vegan on everybody. We're talking about something about consuming meat from tortured animals. There is something wrong with that. And you wonder what it does to you spiritually whenever you eat it. And that brings me to this next segment here, which is cybersecurity analyst Robert Garza says he went into his supervisor. He went to his supervisor. That was okay. I'm sorry, folks. This article, they put supervisor and they spelled it SOUP.
No, they didn't. Why would it do that? Are you serious?
After his conversation with VT Martin Bally. So let me see if I can pull up the news article video, and we'll let's see if we can hammer this on today, because this was a very interesting story. Let's take a listen, and you guys can make your mind up for yourself to see what you think, and I'll cover this in additional detail. This is from old Campbell's Soup. Let's hear the report and see what's going on.
Well, those allegations are now at the center of a lawsuit claiming the company's vice president went on an hour-long tirade attacking the company's products and employees before taking aim at its customers.
And the former employee recorded it all. Eric Erickson shares that recording and what the company is saying about it.
We have shit for poor people. Who buys our shit?
And that's just part of an over an hour-long rant, says former security analyst for Campbell's, Robert Garza of Monroe.
I don't buy every products barely anymore. So healthy. Now that I know what the in it, even in a can of soup, I look at meat, bioengineered meat. I don't want to eat a piece of chicken that came from a 3D printer.
The recording allegedly of Campbell's VP and Chief Information Security Officer Martin Bally.
He has no filter.
Bally, along with another supervisor and Campbell Soup Company, named in a lawsuit filed Thursday. The suit claiming Bally made racist remarks, admits to coming to work high, and Garza fired for coming forward.
What do you think about the things that he was saying?
Oh, just pure disgust.
Garza says he usually worked remotely for Campbell's headquarters based in Camden, New Jersey. But thinking he'd be discussing his salary with Bally, he says the recording taken in person at a restaurant.
They couldn't think for the like you dumb.
Garza says he felt sick after the rant, deciding to go to his direct supervisor in January, keeping the recordings to himself.
He had never had any disciplinary action. They had never written him up for poor work performance.
Garza says no one at Campbell's ever followed up, and it's taken him 10 months to find a new job, calling the way the canned soup company handled it simply terrible.
They have a motto, like we treat you like family, here at Campbell's, come work for us, we treat our employees like family. That's not the case.
We did just receive a statement from Campbell's that says, quote, if accurate, the comments in the recording are unacceptable. They do not reflect our values and the culture of our company. We are actively investigating this matter.
Holy criminy. Could you imagine? Travis, think for just a minute. Now just bear with me. Think for just a minute. Imagine if this would have happened at Libby's and they were talking about the Vienna sausage. And let's just say that there were, let's just say that some of the ingredients they traced back to discarded circumcision parts. Okay. And this was ending up in the Vienna sausage. All right. Would you still eat the Vienna sausage?
Yes.
I thought that would be your answer. Okay.
I'm one of these mindless consumers that we're shitting on.
You don't care, right? You just don't care. It's like,
I don't give up.
Okay. All right. I just had to ask that because I had my own suspicions.
Well, this is about Campbell's and you went for Libby's.
Well,
why would you do that?
It's a hypothetical.
You have a piece of your Astley grass meat over there?
Oh man.
Do you need to take a bite, dude?
I've eaten it all. It's all
I can
gone.
smell it, dude. Your gold member skin flakes.
Oh no, that's just pure brisket, Bo. Just pure brisket and salt. That's all it is. There's no preservatives. There's no nothing. It is the real deal. It's organic. It's amazing. It tastes great. And no, there's no circumcision parts in there.
So this is with somebody that's, obviously embedded at Campbell Soup. So let's go through the report and see if you can make up your own minds here, folks.
Oh, God.
Cybersecurity analyst Robert Garza said he went to his supervisor after his conversation with Martin Bally. He's quoted to say, "It's not healthy now that I know what the fuck is in it," Bally allegedly said as he ripped the company's bioengineered meat. So in a bombshell revelation that has sent shockwaves through the American food industry, Campbell's Soup Company finds itself at the center of a rapidly expanding controversy after top executive was secretly recording disparaging the company's products, calling them unhealthy bioengineered food for poor people.
Wow.
Dude. By the way, some of the most unhealthy canned foods you can find are ripe with leaching plastic chemicals in those cans. If you heat up anything out of those cans and don't discard the can, like if you heat up the can and do this, folks, you're talking about a chemical bomb you're consuming.
Exactly.
This is absolutely insane. And I'm sure it's just a coincidence and it's just greed and it's just all that bad capitalism. That's all that's behind it, Mark. Keep that in mind, right?
It's quinky-dink.
Quinky-dinks. Bioengineered food, he said, for poor people. The incident, which surfaced through a discrimination lawsuit filed in late November, has ignited renewed scrutiny over what Americans are actually consuming and whether the food industry has been deceiving the public about the quality and safety of their products. Yeah, we're a little bit bitches, right?
Wow.
Fair enough.
Wow.
Robert Garza, a former cybersecurity analyst who worked. Let me see here. I'm having trouble with my mic, guys. Sorry about that.
What'd you do? What'd you do?
It's fucking Roger.
Okay, well, hey man.
He knows. Okay, he's walking away. That's right, bitch. Walk away.
You're a beautiful man.
Robert Garza, a former cybersecurity analyst who worked remotely for Campbell's New Jersey headquarters, captured what he described as a shocking hour-long tirade. That's right. Martin Bally went on for an hour, going on a tirade about the own company he's working for, how he wouldn't consume his own company's products.
Wow.
Hour-long tirade during what was supposed to be a routine salary discussion in November 2024. Instead, Martin Bally, the company's vice president and chief information security officer, allegedly unleashed an expletive-laden rant that exposed disturbing truths about one of America's most iconic Food Brands, right? Don't they call it a family food company over there at Campbell's?
I think that's what they
family food.
Have you ever had a can of chicken noodle soup, Campbell's? Have you ever had any? They actually.
Dude.
How about the cream of mushroom soup? That's like how many
cream of mushroom, cream of chicken noodle.
I mean,
folks, we all ate this stuff at one point. We ate it by the gallons. Used to be. We have shit for effing poor people. Who buys our shit? Valley allegedly stated in the recording, which was later shared with Detroit's Local 4 News. I don't buy Campbell's products barely anymore. It's not healthy now that I know what the F is in it. But the most alarming revelation came when Valley allegedly discussed the company's meat products. This is what he said. Bioengineered meat. I don't want to effing eat a piece of chicken that came from a 3D printer.
Do you think, I mean,
that raises a lot of questions. Why would he even use that terminology unless he knew something that maybe the rest of us don't?
Okay, or my question is let's just say, because there is bioengineered meat now. That is
for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, we're talking about we're having to worry about whether we're buying lab-grown chicken breasts now out of Costco and Walmart and Sam's Club.
Is that cheaper than just raising regular chickens and having? I mean, is bioengineered meat? It doesn't sound cheap. Is it cost effective to print out chicken nuggets instead of slaughtering chickens mechanically?
That's a good question. I feel like probably not at the time.
It seems like bioengineered meat would be expensive.
It does seem that way. It does seem that way. So why have a big interest in it? Why is there such a huge effort for us to quit consuming real meat?
Well, because the poor chickens, Travis, have you seen a chicken?
Yes, the poor chickens. Face. We need to trade chickens for crickets.
Ooh.
You know, plus climate change. Plus the climate change.
Okay, all right.
You know, and you'll notice the people advocating for it, they're not going to stop eating real chickens. And real
dude,
meat.
I'm buying in. I am buying in. I'm buying what you're selling, Travis.
Yeah, the recording, which lasted over an hour and 15 minutes, also allegedly included racist comments about Indian co-workers and admissions that Valley frequently came to work high on marijuana edibles. I don't see the quotes. I really want to know what he said about his Indian co-workers.
Well, I could
probably guess.
I could give you some ideas. You know, the poop fest was going on. I think it was last week. Do you know about that?
I thought that was made up. I really did think this was made up, folks.
Hold it up on your computer right there.
Okay.
India's Poop Fest. No, that is not made up. And if you watch it, it is so vile, so disturbing, and so disgusting. It makes you wonder why. The great idea that came across my brain as soon as I saw that was, hey, let's bring in these people by the hundreds of thousands or millions into America. It can only make America better. You know, if you want to bring people in that literally go into this giant, they do this all across India, and it's full of human shit.
Look, when we say some cultures are better than others, this is exactly what we're talking about here.
Oh God, I can't even watch it, dude. That is human. That is shit. That is not dirt.
This is India's poop festival.
Shit. Right, oh God.
This guy's going to look. They're look. You got the kids playing in it. Just
I can't watch it, dude.
We are not making this up. As much as I wanted this to be made up, I just got to say the third world never stops entertaining and surprising all of us.
Well, India was moved up from third world to developing country. Obviously, look at this video. This is no longer third world, where the inhabitants of this place are literally throwing shit at one another. They are. This is not unsanitary. See, dude, this is satanic. This is you can't do this within a Christian culture. You can do this in Hinduism or Muslim or any of these vile third world
I still can't believe that's real.
You thought I was lying, didn't you?
People tuned out when they started seeing the poop fest.
Dude, it's horrible. It is horrible. So let's bring these people in by the millions. Let's bring them in by the millions to America for H-1B because President
probably
Trump
not the
said,
best idea. So now this is from you got a VP at Campbell's Soup who's going on a tour. I really want to know what he saw, what he said.
You might have seen a poop
I just
festival.
whatever. We'll go on. After
God, I couldn't watch that, dude. It is so bad. It is
After initially
bad.
placing Bali on administrative leave while conducting an investigation, Campbell's announced on November 26, 2025, that the executive has been terminated. In a statement, the company said the comments were vulgar, offensive, and false. We apologize for the hurt they have called. I am trying to sneeze here, and it's
Say
just,
grapefruit.
It
Just say
doesn't-
grapefruit.
Grapefruit.
There it goes. It goes away.
Oh God!
Did you say grapefruit?
I got to stare into the blind light.
Oh, is that what it is?
God, let me sneeze right here. Get away! I didn't even ask for a tissue. That echoed. He just came in here ready to wipe my nose. Don't
He's
touch
good.
me, idiot. The comments were vulgar, offensive, and false, and we apologize for the hurt that they have called. This behavior does not reflect our values and the culture of our company, and we will not tolerate that kind of language under any circumstances. Campbell's vehemently denied the allegations about their chicken, stating, "We do not use 3D printed chicken, lab-grown chicken, or any form of artificial or bioengineered meat in our soups." They emphasized the chicken meat in our soups come from long-trusted USDA-approved U.S. suppliers and meets our high-quality standards. All our soups are made with no antibiotics ever, chicken meat. And, of course, if it's from the USDA-approved...
Dude, you got to trust that.
Then...
You got to trust.
Hey, man, I think we can trust them.
Yeah, I'm trusting it.
You think so? However, the company's defenses raises serious critical questions about transparency as Campbell's own products label reveal a different story about bioengineered ingredients. While Campbell's denies using bioengineered meat, their soups can tell another story. Multiple Campbell's product clearly display labels stating, okay, wait for it, folks, contains bioengineered food ingredients.
God. Oh my God.
It's on the damn can, y'all.
Well, could that be referring
I'm in a
to-
mood like everything's going to hell in a handbasket. I just got to laugh today, man. I just got to laugh today about this.
So did you have a bioengineered turkey for Thanksgiving?
Man, I didn't look at the can. If it came out of a Campbell soup can, probably.
Okay. I didn't know. I mean,
So this was there was a mandated federal law since January 2022. And yeah, it says contains bioengineered food ingredients. And we know, listen, folks, even if it's not labeled on there, it's probably safe to assume a lot of it's bioengineered. I think the last vestige that they were really going hard after was potatoes. They don't like us eating potatoes. The ones that they prioritize for bioengineering, by the way, should be the first sign that that's the food you want to eat if they're trying to attack it. Just saying. According to the USDA, bioengineered foods contain genetic material that has been modified in ways that cannot occur through traditional breeding or naturally in the environment. Campbell's clarified their statement that this labeling refers to ingredients derived from genetically modified crops such as canola, corn, soybeans, and sugar beets, not chicken. God, man, we have got Frankenstein foods all over our grocery shelves, do we not? Let's see here. However, the distinction offers little comfort to millions of Americans who are increasingly skeptical about the safety of genetically modified organisms in their food supply. A Pew Research study found that 51% of Americans believe bioengineered foods are bad for their health. The controversy quickly attracted the attention of Florida Attorney General James Utmer, who announced that his office, Consumer Protection Division, would launch an investigation to demand answers from Campbell. Florida is among 7 U.S. states that have banned lab-grown meat, making the allegations particularly sensitive in that jurisdiction. Garza's lawsuit alleges he was fired on January 30th, 2025, just 20 days after he reported Bally's comments to his supervisor in retaliations for raising concerns about discriminatory and harassing behavior. The suit accuses Campbell's of maintaining a racially hostile work environment and seeks unspecified damages for emotional, reputational, and economic harm. Now, the Campbell scandals, this obviously represents the tip of the iceberg in a mounting food safety crisis that has been building for decades. From toxic heavy metals in baby food to forever chemicals in food packaging, Americans are increasingly confronting these disturbing reality that the food supply they've trusted may be systemically poisoning them and their children. Fair game, I say. Fair game, wouldn't you say?
I agree.
The explosion of ultra-processed food in the American diet has reached epidemic proportions. According to recent government data, approximately 70% of packaged products in the U.S. food supply are ultra-processed, and children get over 60% of their calories from these factory-made foods. You'll notice that when you get on that EBT, what's the majority of the food you're buying there, Mark?
Man, well, I don't know about nobody else, but we get lots of soda pops, and we get that purple drink, and some.
What's that purple drink?
Oh, we get a lot of purple drink, and I love me some Eggos. You know the Eggo? Who? Let go my Eggo. I love saying that. You know what I'm talking about? Give me some syrups on that. Man, I love Miss.
Well, funny enough, folks, I'm making a point here where if you're low on the totem pole as far as your income, and then you rely on the government, guess what? We can all pay for you to get poisoned as well. So they love you guys. They love all of us. Welfare it's the most benevolent thing the government can do for you. And they'll subsidize a lot of this food, especially the one that's going to kill you early.
But no, it's not going to kill them, Travis. No, what it's going to do is look at them. It's a conveyor belt straight into our industrial medical system.
Oh, true. Yeah,
so you've got all these
permanent,
people that are going to be diabetics, chronic diseases, and they're not going to die right away. They're going to be kept alive on these ongoing prescriptions that cost the amounts of money is just unbelievable. And as long as they keep them,
it's a never-ending loop.
Yeah, it's
feeding this machine.
They're all in it together.
They're all so while they're killing us, they're also profiting at the same time.
Yes,
and you got to admire the design. It's diabolical. And you just can't help but admire it. It's extremely messed up for multitudes of reasons. But
why would they have why would they have an FDA, Food and Drug Administration? Why do those two in one? That doesn't even make sense, right?
They're not. Listen, folks, these agencies, they're not there to kiss your boo-boo. Okay. Big Daddy is not there to kiss your boo-boo. In July of this year, Robert F. Kennedy announced a major initiative with the USDA to establish a federally recognized definition for ultra-processed foods. And Kennedy knows this. Ultra-processed foods are driving our chronic disease epidemic. We must act boldly to eliminate the root causes of chronic illness and improve the health of our food supply. The health consequences are devastating. A comprehensive 2024 review of 45 meta-analysis covering nearly 10 million study participants found convincing evidence that a diet high in ultra-processed foods increases the risk of death from cardiovascular disease by 50%, and the risk of anxiety. By the way, folks that are having anxiety issues, yes, 48% increase. The research also found highly suggestive evidence that greater UPF consumption increases the risk of death from heart disease by 66%, obesity by 55%, sleep disorders by 41%, type 2 diabetes by 40%, and early death from any causes by 21%, and depression by 20%. A November 2025 review published in The Lancet examined 104 previous studies demonstrating that eating a diet with significant ultra-processed foods is linked to higher risks of obesity, diabetes, heart problems, and early death. 8 massive corporations, Nestle, PepsiCo, Unilever, Coca-Cola, Danone, Fomento Económico Mexicano, Mondelez and Kraft Heinz accounted for 42% of the ultra processed food sector's 1.5 trillion in assets in 2021. And the interesting aspect here, folks, too, is when you look at these giant conglomerates, and then you go into the grocery store and you're thinking you're having all this variety of competitive products. They're all owned in majority by the same exact companies.
Oh,
they just buy these small ones out. You're really not getting choices. You're basically buying from these brands only. It just doesn't look like it because people would become very suspicious, and it would be easier to shop and avoid these things if they didn't give you the illusion of a choice in the market. It's anything but free market capitalism. It's everything to do with corporate welfare and corporate subsidization and monopoly.
Are you familiar with the Philip Morris story, Travis?
I'm not.
Okay, Philip Morris was they were first known, obviously, as the big tobacco company here in the U.S. They were the biggest. They owned all the, Marlboro, Palm. They owned them all. They owned all the. And then what happened in the 70s and 80s and 90s? The lawsuits started coming in, and the big tobacco companies started losing these multi-billion-dollar lawsuits. Do you know why they lost the lawsuits? Did they lose the lawsuits because nicotine and tobacco was bad? They didn't. See, people don't know this. The reason why Philip Morris and all these big tobacco companies lost those lawsuits had nothing to do with nicotine, had nothing to do with tar, had nothing to do with tobacco. It had everything to do with these secret chemicals that Philip Morris was adding to the cigarettes that no one knew about, but was creating the addictions. That's why they lost. So guess what Philip Morris did? Said, man, big tobacco is going down. People are stopping the smoke. Guess what they started buying? Kraft and all these big food producers. Guess where all their scientists that they used for creating the chemicals to make cigarettes more addictive?
They're in the food industry now.
They're in the food industry. Now, you might say, well, you can't. Yes, you can prove that, actually. Easy to prove. And here's the other thing. You can prove it yourself. The next time you go to a Mexican restaurant and you get a basket of chips. So how many people are familiar with the basket of chips at the Mexican restaurant? Here's what's fascinating. You can sit there and eat a basket of chips, eat another basket of chips, eat your meal that comes out, and still be picking at those chips after your meal. You are stuffed beyond stuffed, but you can still eat the next chip. Same thing with Oreos. So go down with any processed food. Now, try that with with an apple. You can't do it. You can eat 2 apples and then you don't want another apple. They have added chemicals to these foods, any processed food, and it hits your dopamine receptors. It does all kinds of things to you. And that's why you get addicted. And that's why you are addicted. And that's why people can't stop eating. And most of these foods have tons of corn syrup, not sugar. Sugar's too expensive, but they put tons of corn syrup.
They got that brain bombing ingredients too. I mean, we talked about
that's what it is.
Corn syrup and some of those 2 ingredients right there impact your brain in your development, especially when you're young.
Well, now doctors are now.
I'm sure it's just for money, though, Mark. Right?
No, well, yeah, well, of course it is. But so it started in Europe and other places, but now it's known around the world. Alzheimer's is now not known as Alzheimer's; it is now known as type 3 diabetes. That is what it is. It is type 3 diabetes. Exactly.
You're seeing that doctor out there in New York that's slowly been incorporating nutrition into some of his treatments. And apparently some of these carnivore ketocentric diets seems to reverse some of this stuff. I wonder why that is. While simultaneously giving us bioengineered meat and encouraging us to eat bugs instead. Yep. So use your own thought process there on that one.
Yep.
Yeah. And yes, it feeds the monetary machine, but this is deeper than just a monetary gain here. There's an agenda at work, and it's global and it's worldwide, and this is a little piece of it. No food safety scandal is more disturbing than the widespread contamination of baby foods with toxic heavy metals. 2019 congressional report found that 95% of tested baby foods contained toxic metals, including arsenic, lead, cadmium, and mercury. I always, whenever I remember reading about this, I always thought, when you're creating baby food or formula, how the hell is arsenic, lead, and cadmium and mercury being introduced in anywhere near the creation of this stuff? Come on, guys. Come on. I get it. Maybe you're working with some metal machinery at some of these. I don't know. There's all kinds of excuses, but those are very specific metals that are targeting brain development. You know, we all got in an uproar over this Tylenol stuff. You saw all these, it's mainly white liberal females, in spite of Trump, that were like taking Tylenol extra strength by the bottles just to get back at Trump. Some of these women actually did have complications, apparently. We covered that here on the show. So, but yeah, those are some specific heavy metals that just happen to ruin brain development. And it was in our baby food and formula. So in September 2025, Sprout Organics issued a voluntary recall of baby food pouches due to potential lead contamination. The third such recall in recent months. This came on the heels of recalls from Target's Good and Gather brand in April 25 for elevated lead levels. In January 2025, the FDA finally established. Yeah. Okay. Listen to this wording here, Mark. You'll like this. In January of this year, the FDA finally established the first ever guidance for lead levels in processed baby foods, setting limits of 10 parts per billion for most baby foods and 20 parts per billion for root vegetables and dry infant cereals. However, health experts have emphasized there is no level of lead that is safe for infants and toddlers. Like, no shit, man. Okay, but listen to this, guys. The FDA has been an agency for how long, Mark? Maybe you know.
It's been around for, was it the 70s or before?
I want it maybe late 60s, late 70s. Anyway,
in the 60s, 70s.
My point being, and just this year, okay, they established a guidance for manufacturers and suppliers for lead levels that are setting the limits, basically.
Oh my God.
Just this year. We had a shutdown, folks. The GOP had a ripe opportunity to get rid of majority of the shit, but here we are still funding it. But don't worry. Just this year, after people found out about it and they had to issue recalls, now they just set parameters on what suppliers can do. So I'm sure nobody's going around these parameters either, like they do in the vaccine industry when they're putting preservatives in the vaccine and the body of the makeup of the vaccines, especially with your healthcare or with your makeup products, ladies. Same kind of thing. You're seeing heavy metals in that too, but
now hang on, Travis. Be careful about that, because if we got a bunch of ladies running around without makeup, that could be environmentally.
That could be an environmental calamity. I think it would bring a lot of truth out there. We're big advocates for the truth.
Ooh, but sometimes truth is scary.
Sometimes truth is scary. Yeah.
Sometimes
infants are especially vulnerable to harmful neurological effects of these toxic metals as their brains and organ systems are rapidly developing. I always go back to Bertrand Russell. Diet injections and injunctions will form at an early age to make a citizenry desirable for the state. God, man, you can't look at that quote. It just not, come on, we're in it. This is it. This is what we're doing here at the Defiance Daily Show. We're documenting this stuff. Yeah. And of course, heavy exposure in infancy can cause permanent loss of intellectual capacity. That's right. Permanent reductions of IQ, behavioral problems, attention deficit disorders, which I kind of have qualms about. Attention deficit disorders. Anyway,
that's me. That's me.
Increased cancer risk, immune system impairment, kidney and liver damage, and delayed puberty, particularly among males. That is a very, very cool. That's a big coinky dink right there. Have we seen an effect on male populations here, Mark, in the past 50 years?
Oh my God. Oh my God. Look at all the fags running around.
Consumer Reports testing in 2020 found concerning levels of heavy metals in 41 baby formulas, with the highest inorganic arsenic level in Abbott's Nutrition L-Care Hyperallergenic at 19.7 parts per billion.
Unbelievable.
So much for the limits the FDA put in. The same manufacturer, Similac Almentium, contained 15.1 parts per billion. So yeah, while you're watching babies chug formula, we also have to navigate our world of that. I mean, isn't this just insane, Mark? Just covering this shit. This is just absolutely. When we talk about warfare, this is a piece of it. This is what we're talking about. PFAS, nicknamed forever chemicals because they don't break down in the environment or the human body, represent another insidious threat lurking in America's food supply. These chemicals used in grease-resistant food packaging have been linked to immune system suppression, lower birth weight, and increased risk for some cancers. A 2023 global study tested 119 samples of food packaging from 17 countries and found that 64 samples representing 54% contain PFAS, including fast food packaging from major chains. Consumer Reports testing found PFAS in food packaging from McDonald's, Burger King, Chick-fil-A, Cava, and even Trader Joe's. That's right. All these folks there. Oh, Chick-fil-A, man. That's our brand, man. That's our jam right there, man.
How did they pull that off? How did they convince moms and dads that Chick-fil-A is the healthy alternative? Dude, and it's everywhere.
That's
basic.
Right. That's
You'll
right,
hear these moms say it. Oh, well, Chick-fil-A is better than this.
It's the healthy alternative because they say
they're just
what do they say? We appreciate you. Yeah, they're very friendly at the service line, all this stuff.
That's great.
Folks,
I mean,
I consume some of the fast food. We got to get away from this shit.
I've seen you do it before.
We got to get away from it. Not only that, I mean, this article doesn't even go into even just a limited exposure to touching receipts. We don't touch receipts in our household. We don't let the kids play with them or do anything like that. Yeah, you want to call us paranoid? Folks, go and look into just touching receipts and the amount of exposure that puts in your system by skin contact alone. And there's people that are working in these industries. They're constantly grabbing these receipts. Folks, you're slowly being chemically bombed on a daily basis.
That's amazing.
It's not an exaggeration. You got to recognize what we're in here, and this is absolutely part of it. In February 2024, the FDA announced that grease-proofing materials containing PFAS would no longer be sold for use in packaging in the United States, eliminating what officials call the major source of dietary exposure to PFAS from food packaging. However, it still remains widespread, with the chemical showing up in everything from tap water to breast milk. That's right. If it's showing up in breast milk, you're still being exposed in other places. PFAS is heavily involved in the ink in the paper on receipts when you're touching those, folks. So you can even eliminate some of this stuff.
Hang on.
But you're still going to find it in different areas, from the plumbing in your house to eventually that water that gets tapped out. So you gotta have filters in your house, and then you got to watch, well, what are those filters passing through? If you're storing them in a big container under your sink, you still got a problem.
Okay, but the breast milk thing, are moms putting these receipts in their bras?
No. Probably, wow. Mark.
Okay, that's just really weird.
Astute observation from Mark over here, man.
Okay, I asked
thinking about titties again on the show, man. I told you.
Curious. I am curious.
Yeah, the next generation is being exposed to these toxic compounds in the most vulnerable time period in their development. Yeah, I'm just going to go out and say it. That is not stupidity. It's not incompetence. It's not coincidence, and it's not greed. How long does this kind of stuff that we report on, how long before you ask if it's intentional when they keep doing it? I mean, seriously, how long? How long do you go, Mark? How long do you go?
Just for them to start doing it, not how long they do it, just to start doing it. It's intentional.
So bisphenol A, the one that everybody's familiar with at this point, and that's not the only leaching plastic chemical. Now you see BPA free, but they just swapped it for some other chemical that probably leaches more than BPA did. It's a chemical used in polycarbonate plastics and epoxy resins that line food cans, poses yet another serious health risk. BPA is recognized as an endocrine disruptor that can leach from cans into food. So I'm back on the canned food. That's right, folks. You would have an aluminum can lining, and then they'd coat it with this stuff. Why? Why would you need to coat an aluminum can lining with heavy leaching plastic coating? I mean, guys, come on. And then you heat it up, and that's where it really activates these BPA endocrine disruptors getting into your food supply. Research has shown BPA exposure can cause reproductive disorders, cardiovascular diseases, excuse me.
You all right, buddy?
Type 2 diabetes, negative health effects on fetal brain development and certain cancers. The CDC found BPA in 93 to 95% of Americans tested.
That's a lot. That's like most people. I mean,
man, this is depressing. I'm not gonna lie. It's turning the frogs gay, and that's actually not a joke. We're talking about atrazine in the water supply.
It is actually causing the frogs to be gay, and our children. You look at all the boys today. There's so many fags.
Studies have found particularly high BPA concentration in canned foods. One investigation revealed that foods and canned materials had BPA levels of 73%, compared to just 7% for foods not packed in cans. The highest BPA concentration detected was in black polycarbonate containers at 42.78 parts per million. Heat increases the amount of BPA that leaches into food, warns the Poison Control Center. BPA-containing plastics typically have recycling code 7 on the bottom. So, folks, as you're going through shopping and, honestly, Mark, I don't know the best way to get away from it other than going to a carnivore-based diet. But even then, you're talking about what's the meat wrapped in when you're buying it from the supermarket or your local market? What's it wrapped in?
Right. No, it's yeah, you've got to do ranch to table. You've got to find a really good source for me. We had Blake Dollins on. You can go to his ranch, and they're not going to wrap it in any of that stuff, and you can, buy as much or as little as you want, and it's good meat. And we
even hear about this with plastic. I always tell people, if you can find things in glass, always geared towards that. You're still going to get a little exposure, because if you notice, if it's in bottled glass and you take off that cap and look under it.
Yeah. And here's the other thing too. You can really go off and really get consumed with this. I think you just do the best you can with what you got.
Yeah, that's it, folks. And I totally agree with that, because you can be paranoid and be one of these. But it's so prevalent. I mean, just not eating processed food should be enough.
Just
if you go to a heavy meat centric diet, you'll get, and you cut out the sugar, and then you try to gear towards glass as far as storing and drinking out of things like that. Highly encourage it. You can diminish the amount you're being exposed to. And yeah, it's hard, when you're at the grocery store, even touching a receipt, stuff like that. But I do know people that are so overly consumed with this that it'll just drive you crazy, folks. A lot needs to happen, and you don't need to drive yourself insane doing this. Just do what you can to lower your consumption and
pick up smoking. Look, here's the deal: pick up smoking or dipping snuff, because to be honest with you, tobacco is not as bad for you as people say it is. And, if you're going to trade off, I've always told people.
So this was something weird, because, I smoke cigarettes on occasion, smoke cigars. I was having real bad congestion in my chest, and my buddy Justin's like, good old quick hit of a cigarette or a little cigar, and it'll clear right up. And I'm like, dude, that is the last thing in the planet that I'm going to go do. And I was just curious, and I went out, took a smoke, took a drag on the fag. And
whoa!
I'm not gonna lie though, it did. It's like there's no way this cleared me up like that.
Tobacco's actually
one of the oddest things ever.
Nicotine is actually good for you.
Nicotine is a nootropic.
It's actually good for you.
Yes. Now all the stuff they add
That's
to it.
the
That's
problem.
what you got to watch out. That's why I geared
That's-
more towards cigars, because they don't really do that in the cigar industry as much as they do in
No.
tobacco with the filters and all this kind of stuff. All right, let me go on here. So in November of this year, the FDA warned consumers about 19 cookware products manufactured outside the U.S., mostly India, that could leak
The
lead
poop fest
into
country?
food. The agency urged consumers to immediately stop using these aluminum, brass, and aluminum alloy products and not to donate or refurbish them. Great. We can't even rely on just aluminum because we're making them in India.
Yeah, I wouldn't
Mark.
buy anything. I know. No, don't do it. Don't do it.
Adding to the crisis, multiple brands of ground cinnamon products were added to an ongoing public health alert due to elevated lead levels. SLR Food Distribution Incorporated recalled Wise Wife brand ground cinnamon in 2025 after testing revealed dangerous contamination. Critics of ultra-processed food research have accused the food industry of employing tactics similar to those used by big tobacco. Mark, you didn't even know this article. That's what I love about this.
I've known about this for years.
You're on your shit. You're on your shit.
I know this stuff.
So I did find this book because I always try to find books on these subjects. This is from Chris Van Tollecken, author of best-selling book Ultra Processed People. Okay, that book, Ultra Processed People. We're going to check that out. Has noted that scientists criticizing UPF research often have financial ties to the food industry. We see tobacco industry tactics played out. The parallels are striking. Just as cigarette companies once paid scientists to question the link between smoking and cancer, major food corporations now fund research casting doubt on the dangers of ultra-processed food. Even Tucker Carlson has extensively documented how the food industry designs products to be addictive. In a widely viewed interview with Dr. Mark Hyman, Carlson explored how ultra-processed foods hijacked our biology through carefully engineered combinations of sugar, salt, and fat. To quote, "The food industry is designed to addict people." There's a book written by Michael Moss called Salt, Sugar, Fat, where he interviewed 300 food industry executives and whistleblowers and scientists, and basically said, look, we have the taste institutes where we hire craving experts. That's right. Multi-million-dollar industry hiring psychologists. I say this all the time, Mark. Any of the products you see right in front of your face, there is millions of dollars of psychologists, psychiatrists, food craving expert, addiction expert that are all roundtabled to figure out how to get you to consume their products. Okay. It's more than just advertising and all that. That psychology does play into it. So, for example, when you're at the grocery store, you ever wonder why the candy is right there at the checkout lane and at eye level of children?
And you know what else they do
when
right
you're
there?
trying to check out, when little Johnny's screaming there, he wants his Snickers bar, you're just going to throw it in the basket and buy it.
And you know what else they're doing right
Psychology.
there at the checkout? You know what they're doing at the checkout, Travis? They're
What's
asking
that?
you if you'd like to donate to the Diabetes Foundation.
Oh, dude, you can't make up the diabolical nature of this shit.
So
man.
you know what I
This
asked
is a
them
good
when they
segment. I'm glad we're covering this, dude. You're on point today. I like
do
this.
you want me to tell you what I asked them when they asked me that? And I said, am I donating to create it or donating to get rid of it? And it always stumps them. They don't know. The person working the cashier goes, I don't know. And they go, well, I can't give if I don't know if y'all are trying to start it or if you're trying to prevent it or, you know.
Well, and here's some of the guidance here. And again, it's so prevalent.
Hey, Travis, if somebody was to go to the Diabetes Foundation website and look at what they recommend, their dietary recommendations, and this is on the Diabetes Association, I believe is what it is. Dude, you know what they have for the typical breakfast, a healthy breakfast for a type 2 diabetic? You want to guess?
I gotta
8 ounces of orange juice, bowl of oatmeal, go down the list. It's all carbohydrates. It's all sugars. It's all, and it's really a shame. I don't say that. It's not funny because there's people dying out there. I've been a certified nutritionalist for a long time. You probably didn't know that, did you? But but I've been around a lot of certified that are practicing, and also some doctors that are practicing nutritionists. And I've seen these guys when they take somebody, I don't care what age they are. The oldest I've ever seen was a 93-year-old black lady. She was on like 17 different medications, full-blown diabetes, obese. She was bound to a wheelchair. They took her off all carbohydrates, put her on a strictly carnivore diet. All she ate was meat. That was it. Within 2 weeks, she was off all medications and out of the wheelchair. I've never seen a type 2 diabetic change their diet to eating just meat, good meat. You can't eat pork rinds. That's a bunch of bullshit. You got it. No, seriously, there was this whole Adkins thing that went through years ago, and it was very destructive because they allowed you to eat a bunch of processed like pork rinds. That's no.
Yeah, look, so I'm looking at this now. Here's just some of this, and this was pulled from Etsy, and this was taken from the diabetic, whatever that wherever people donate. Here's some of the stuff on here. A bagel with cream cheese.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Whole grain toast with peanut butter, berries, and banana.
Unbelievable.
Waffles with Greek yogurt and berries. Steel cut oats with berries and walnut.
Unbelievable.
Let's see here.
All of that causes diabetes.
With almond or low-fat milk.
Unbelievable.
Yogurt parfait. Whole grain toast with peanut butter and bananas. Let's see here.
It's horrible.
Yeah,
Heart Association. By the way, Heart Association, the exact same thing. And all that stuff that you just listed.
Blueberry muffins.
Yeah. It all causes diabetes.
But they love you guys. That's why we donate millions of dollars of our tax money to these organizations, and they love us. So
now, you know why? But now, Travis, here's the other question. Here's the obvious question to this, Travis. Why can't the average person stop eating that stuff? If you know it's going to, let's say you're a 60-year-old male or female, you're a grandparent, and you want to spend time with your grandkids, and you're getting sick. You're starting to get arthritis. You're getting all these different disorders that come on when we get older because we're just told that that's just normal. Type 2 diabetes, heart disease, high blood pressure, all these things. All of those things are reversible. I am telling you, they're all reversible within days, at the most 2 or 3 weeks. All you have to do is cut out all carbohydrates, all of them.
Yeah. It makes a huge difference.
Why can't people do it? Travis, why can't people do it?
Convenience kills, buddy.
No. It's not convenience.
What is
They're addicted.
Oh, well, yeah.
The addiction to sugar is literally 10 times worse than cocaine.
Yeah, it's the most
literally
substance on the planet, and it has absolutely everything to do with fueling some of the most hardcore diseases we see.
It's all of them.
Western countries.
It's all of them.
And here's just, this is just a quick list. What you can do, and I'll just go off a few of what I've done personally just to try to help the household. And it's really not that expensive. I mean, in today's day and age, I don't know, $1,000 is like a equivalent to $100 when I was a teenager now. So I don't even know is that considered expensive now with how devalued our fucking dollar is now? But anyway, you could pay $100 a month for a whole house filter system. Mind you, you're still dealing with the piping and all that kind of thing. So we did a whole house filter system. I still put an extra filter on our shower heads because the steam, you can still absorb a lot of the chemicals and stuff through it. So, and again, you're mitigating it. You're not, how much of that you're getting rid of, I don't know. We went for the stainless steel containers everywhere we could as far as where the filters are funneling out the water and all that kind of stuff. And a reverse osmosis filter I highly, highly recommend that. And get one with the stainless steel jug. So once it's processed, it's filtered through there, you get it through there, and then you can add some mesh systems in your actual dispenser, and that'll help filter out a lot of the plastic and all that stuff. You're not going to avoid it completely, but when I go and bottle up water, I just get those glass pop tops, fill it up, put it in the fridge. You got cold water right there. And that's helped. We've noticed a lot of differences after using it with your skin, your hair, and we generally feel a lot better, a lot more clear-headed versus drinking out of plastic bottles all the time. We all do it. Do like Mark, get those stainless steel jugs, get used to drinking out of those, or like
the other thing,
you know,
the other thing, yeah, drinking out of the stainless steel containers is really good. As far as the bathing on, I quit taking bath showers. I quit bathing.
Yeah, it's hard. Just don't bathe anymore.
No, I don't. No, I go outside when it's raining.
You'd fit in real good in India.
India, doing the shit.
You're taking the Indian way.
Yes, I do the Indian.
You're gearing up for a poop fest.
Yeah.
The other thing too is no more plastic Tupperware containers. Just don't do it.
No.
You'll get the glass ones with the plastic lids. That's fine. Don't heat up anything with plastic in your microwave. Try not to touch receipts. And yeah, it sounds crazy even saying this out loud.
Yeah.
But you're in a war and you got to recognize it. So that's what we're here to do. Read your labels carefully. Look for bioengineered or contain bioengineered food ingredients on symbols and packaging. Check for organic certifications. Of course, avoiding ultra processed foods. Stick to whole foods with ingredients lists you can actually read and understand. If a product contains ingredients you can't pronounce or wouldn't find in your kitchen, best to avoid it.
Thank you.
I always say the less ingredients, the better. If you got less than 5 on there, that's like the magic number. One interesting thing too is you can go and look up yourself. Look at the ingredients in Canada's ketchup versus our own ketchup.
Oh yeah.
I mean, even basic condiment stuff. We got to look over that. Choose fresh over canned. You'll see the cans. I know HEB had done this. I love HEB, dude. I do. They do say BPA free in there. And when you open up the cans, there really isn't lining that I've seen in there. They didn't always used to do this. So look for that as well. But also when you open up the can, if it still doesn't look like aluminum and it's not from India.
What do you got against India, bro? What's going on?
Not. Well, apparently their aluminum is coated with lead and arsenic. So
wow. Well,
limit the baby food pouches, folks. I had a big argument over this at home when the kids were eating this. Make homemade baby food when possible. Yeah, and store it in glass containers. Yeah, these baby food it's the convenience. Convenience always kills you. Okay. It's easier just to get a food pouch than to make the food yourself.
Do you know what else
what are you doing at a cost to that, right?
Here's something else that makes the whole going carnivore so much more convenient and so much more attractive. All this stuff you're talking about, when you're carnivore, it doesn't apply to you. You don't have to worry about it.
Doesn't apply to you.
All you do is you eat meat. You just eat meat.
It could still be wrapped in the packaging, but folks, it's not absorbing it like
I'm telling you,
prepackaged, high manufactured foods do.
And if you can make it,
you'll get a little bit of exposure. It won't be. You got to eat meat, and you got to eat beef, especially.
But you can't. Okay, but here's the other thing. So,
and we're not health experts, by the way. Before we get slammed or marked on there,
I'm a certified nutritional. Anyway,
you're a certified freak. 7 days a week.
You can't sit around. You can't eat fatty meats and then turn around and eat, bananas or cotton candy or apples or corn or any of these things that are carbohydrates, because it really is. Then it's really bad for you. You've got to go all in, and this is one of the reasons why people fail at this, or they've never had never had the results that they wanted. I am telling you, I've never seen a type 2 diabetic that has followed this program for 2 weeks and not be the doctor's just astounded.
And you've got to be militantly dedicated to doing it.
And you got to break that habit.
It won't work. And then the hardest part, because I did this, I did really, really hardcore where I actually followed it for about 3 to 4 months. And that was the best performing months I've ever had in my life. The hardest part I found is once you deviate, it's going back to it.
Oh yeah.
So
like that.
It's a constant thing, but I never regretted it. It's the best I've ever felt in my life. Even working out, it was just felt.
That's how addicting these processed foods are. We will literally die. We will literally sacrifice our health because we cannot not eat this stuff. It is that addicting. It's unbelievable.
Now here's some other ones. Yeah, limit the baby food pouches. Check for PFAS free packaging. Some brands are doing this, not a lot of them. buy organic, support local farmers, demand transparency. So you get the gist here, folks. You're at war, and the food is a big part of this, especially when you're young. And just keep that in mind as you're listening to the show. And I know some of you listening already know a lot of this stuff because this is nothing new that we've been paying attention to. We're talking about fertility rates and everything that gets affected by it, but I'm sure it's just a coincidence, right? Okay. While we're talking about the benevolence of these wonderful agencies that we fund with our taxpayer dollars, it does nothing. Mark, you're going to love this one. We're covering here the federal indictment of Florida Democratic Congresswoman Sheila. All right. Sheila Sheriffulus McCormick.
What was that middle name? Sheriffulus?
Sheila Sheriffulus McCormick.
Oh, girl, hang on now. She related to Shathid. Some people call her Shithead, but her real name is Shathid.
She might be related to Ebetisha.
Ebetisha or fallopian. Or placenta.
Or Snapetia.
Or Snapetia. You go, hey, girl, snaps in Z formation, girl.
So I'll reference to her as Sheila. The federal indictment of Florida Democratic Congresswoman Sheila presents a stark illustration of what critics of government program have long warned. When vast sums of taxpayer money flow through bureaucratic channels with minimal oversight, the potential for corruption and self-enrichment becomes not merely possible, but inevitable.
Inevitable or inevitable?
Inevitable. Oh, okay. The Congresswoman stands accused of converting $5 million in federal disaster relief funds, money designated to help Americans during the COVID-19 pandemic, into personal wealth and campaign financing, including the purchase of a 3.14 carat fancy vivid yellow diamond ring valued at $109,000. Hey, Sheila. Hey, girl.
Hey, girl. How you doing? Tell your mom and them I say hi.
Man, she's got pretty pendants on.
She's got some menses. She's got some menses, Travis. You know, I got some menses. I got so many.
You got menses.
Travis, I have so many menses, I have to nickname them. You want to know some of the nicknames? Travis, I got one. Now, I told you about Mountain Dew. I name them after soft drinks. Okay, I told you about Mountain Dew, you know, because when he know what to do. You know who my other menses is? It's 7-Up. You know why I nickname him 7-Up? Because he got 7. He always up, girl. That's what I'm talking about. Make my thighs burn. You go, girl.
The scandal traces its origins to March 2021 when Florida's Division of Emergency Management contracted with Trinity Healthcare Services, a company owned by Sheriffulus McCormick's family.
What? Triflis? Isn't that kind of like a syphilis? Triflis is, huh? Okay, we're doing a triflis.
Man, I am having a hard time focusing with your shit.
I'm having a hard time focusing too with all the names.
So it's a family-owned company with the Congresswoman serving as CEO to register citizens for COVID-19 vaccinations. The company submitted an invoice for approximately $50,578.50. What followed exemplifies the incompetence inherent in sprawling government programs. A clerical error transformed a $50,000 payment into a $5 million windfall. Incompetence. Clerical error. I hate the way these articles are written, dude. Rather than return the errant funds, prosecutors allege she and her co-conspirators, including her brother Edwin Sheriffulus, recognized an opportunity. The $5 million in FEMA disaster relief money was allegedly funneled through a labyrinth of accounts to obscure its origins, ultimately serving to enrich the family and finance a congressional campaign. According to the reporting from the Miami Herald, the stolen funds were distributed as follows. $2.4 million transferred to Sheriffulus McCormick's personal consulting company. $1.2 million routed to a bank account managed by Sheriff relatives. $830,000 deposited into a separate account where the Congresswoman was an authorized signer. $334,000 sent to the bank account of Nadege LeBlanc, who is accused of coordinating a straw donor contribution scheme to her campaign. Little campaign fraud going on there too with these government programs. What a perfect example right here, Mark. $190,000 deposited to a bank account linked to her brother's consulting company. $109,000 used to purchase the yellow diamond ring on September 1st, 2021. The ring, identified by a Tiffany & Co. client advisor as appearing to be the Tiffany Fancy Yellow Single Row Celeste, and the Victoria Band ring is prominently visible in her official congressional portrait. According to listen, this is what it looks like in a society with no consequences for these politicians, by the way. So brazen that she buys a six-figure ring and then wears it for her congressional photo.
Travis, this is what it looks like in Africa.
This is third world country shit.
This is this is third world country shit. It's exactly what it is.
According to the International Gem Society, the yellow diamonds can sell for $8,000 to $16,000 per carat, making her 3.14 carat stone a particularly extravagant purchase with federal disaster funds. The indictment reveals an elaborate straw donor scheme whereby stolen FEMA funds were distributed to friends and family members who then donated the money to her congressional campaign as if it were their own. Clever, clever. Federal Election Commission records show that after the overpayment occurred, Sheriff Liz McCormick, then Trinity CEO, loaned her campaign $6.2 million across more than 100 payments during the 2021 through 2022 campaign cycle. This self-financing proved decisive. She won her primary by just 5 votes, then went on to defeat a Republican opponent. The indictment alleges that money stolen from American taxpayers' funds designated to assist communities served as the margin of victory. The case does not exist in isolation. It represents merely the latest entry in a long catalog of fraud and waste within federal disaster relief programs. A February 2025 Department of Homeland Security Inspector General report found that FEMA had over-obligated at least $1.5 million in funds for a single state's medical staffing grant, with $8.1 billion in spending deemed questionable due to inadequate documentation. The report revealed that during the pandemic, FEMA staff were instructed not to conduct deep dives when reviewing project eligibility, a directive that essentially invited fraud. One cost estimate totaling $1.1 billion was supported by a single sheet of paper that lacked itemized cost and was not prepared by a professional estimator as required by FEMA guidelines. Again, these benevolent agencies that are supposed to help you are doing the exact opposite. Not through greed, not through stupidity, although those are tools within it. It's by design. The GAO investigation stretching back to Hurricane Katrina have essentially consistently documented FEMA's vulnerability to abuse. Following Katrina, it's estimated that $600 million to $1.4 billion in improper and potentially fraudulent assistance was distributed within 6 months. A 2023 Senate hearing revealed that FEMA had recovered only $7 million of an estimated $1 billion lost to fraud and improper payments. That's right, folks. Basically, once these things happen, it's done. It's done. You're not going to get the money back. And a majority of the time, you're not going to see people get arrested. Stuff like this, for as far as arrest goes, you're in these positions of power. We need a lot more hardcore sentences. If you're convicted over doing something like this, why not life in prison? You should be terrified to run for office and do stuff like this. But they're not. The GAO's 2025 high-risk list now includes improving the delivery of federal disaster assistance, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So basically, the GAO, the Government Accountability Office, they put new guidelines. They sent some strong worded letters, and they keep the agency going. Seems like a bold strategy, Cotton. See if it works out for us. Let's keep paying our taxes to it. The indictment crystallizes a fundamental critique of expansive government programs. The larger bureaucracy, the faster the money flows, the less accountability accompanies it. Yeah, I mean, obviously, they could have had more in place to stop this. I mean, we hear the same stuff all the damn time, don't we, Mark?
Oh, yeah.
The congresswoman at least faces now 15 federal counts, including theft of government funds, money laundering, conspiracy, straw donor contributions, and filing false tax returns. If convicted, I like this one. She faces more than 50 years in prison and over $2 million in fines. Will she get it though, Mark?
She's not going to jail.
She ain't going to jail.
Nothing's going to happen to her.
Yeah, it's her attorneys have called the indictment politically motivated, of course, and claim the government is willing to charge an indictment and arrest somebody without actual evidence.
Who's that fat black bitch up in New York that tried to put Trump in jail, and now we got charges on? Okay, what's happened to that? Everybody was all jumping up and down.
We're getting
going
to
jail. She's going to jail.
Damn it.
Well, I don't know what's going on.
Shit, man. Yet the evidence detailed in the indictment suggests that, yeah, there's text messages, emails, bank transfers, the ring in official photographs.
There ain't nothing going to happen.
The federal prosecutors have documented a thorough paper trail. The disaster relief system designed to provide rapid assistance to Americans in crisis have repeatedly proven itself susceptible to exploitations by those with access. From the fraudulent response to Katrina to 19 relief funding identified by the AP, what we saw during Doge. Anyway, the case goes on. Her next court appearance is set for December 29th of this year. She will be arraigned. Despite the federal charges, she has stated her intention to remain in Congress.
Of course. Why wouldn't she?
In a Thanksgiving message to constituents posted after her court appearance with the same ring, she offered gratitude for the chance to work every day to fight for our community.
Well,
telling you, man,
ain't nothing going to happen to her.
No, we'll see what happens because and you were asking about this, so let's go ahead and cover this. What happened with the Comey and the Letitia James indictment? Here's the latest news, folks. A federal judge has just blown up two of the Trump Justice Department's highest profile prosecutions. The criminal cases against former director James Comey and Letitia James, and she did it on procedural grounds that go straight to the core question. Who is actually allowed to wield federal prosecutional power? This is getting so insane, folks. U.S. District Judge Cameron McGowan Curry, a Clinton-appointed federal judge from South Carolina, dismissed both indictments after finding that the interim U.S. attorney who brought the cases, Lindsay Halligan, had been unlawfully appointed and therefore had no legal authority to take a case to a grand jury or sign an indictment. So it's not like it got thrown out because they got him on a technicality here, man. Flag on the play. Curry ruled that because Halligan's appointment violated the federal statute that limits how long the attorney general can install an interim U.S. attorney without Senate confirmation, everything that flowed from that appointment, including these indictments, had to be thrown out. Importantly for listeners, this was not a finding that Comey and James are innocent. The cases were tossed on who brought them, not whether the underlying allegations were true. Now, this is what's interesting. Now, because they tossed it, they were right on the deadline for statute of limitations. Now that they have to refile it, they're going to be outside the statute of limitations, dude. Come on, man. How do you make an error like this?
No, nobody's going to jail, man. Nobody's
returning to the White House. President Trump made clear he wanted criminal charges. The Justice Department under Pam Bondi faced resistance from the career interim U.S. attorney in the Eastern District of Virginia, Eric Seibert, who reportedly did not believe the James case was chargeable. Seibert was pushed out, and Bondi then installed Lindsay Halligan, a Trump-aligned lawyer with little federal prosecutional experience, obviously, as interim U.S. attorney in Alexandria, Virginia, the office that ultimately brought the set of charges. Halligan quickly convened grand juries and secured a 2-count indictment on James Comey, an indictment against Letitia James. Now, for Comey, it was lying to Congress, obstruction of a congressional proceeding related to his testimony about leaks and media contacts over Russiagate. Letitia James, alleged bank fraud and false statements to a financial institution, accusing her of misrepresenting a property as a second home to get better mortgage terms. Both Comey and James pleaded not guilty and immediately went on offense, arguing the whole prosecution was illegitimate because Halligan herself was never lawfully in the job. Here's the key technical point. A federal law called 28 U.S. Section C 540, Section 546, that statute allows the Attorney General to temporarily appoint an interim U.S. attorney when a Senate-confirmed U.S. attorney leaves, but only for up to 120 days. After that 120-day window closes, only the local federal district court can name someone to serve in that role. Judge Curry found that a 120-day clock started when Seibert was first installed as a U.S. interim attorney in the Eastern District of Virginia. The clock ran out months before Bondi tried to bring in Lindsay Halligan. Once the 120 days expired, the Attorney General had no power left under the statute to appoint another interim U.S. attorney. That power shifted to the court. Because of that, Curry concluded that Halligan had no lawful authority to act as U.S. attorney and therefore no authority to present cases to grand juries or sign indictments. She rejected DOJ's attempt to fix the problem after the fact by having Bondi ratify Halligan's actions once the appointment was challenged. Curry warned that if government could rescue defective appointments that way, the executive branch could effectively send any private citizen off the street into a grand jury room to get an indictment so long as the attorney general rubber stamped it later, something she said cannot be the law. So Pam Bondi, once again, drops the ball on this one. I'm sure it's just an accident, though, and they did everything they could, Mark.
No, she's horrible. She is.
Judge Curry dismissed both cases without prejudice, which is legal shorthand for these indictments are void, but in theory, the government can try again without with a properly appointed prosecutor.
Nobody's going to prison, bro.
Nope.
Nobody.
Nobody's
going to prison.
In Comey's case, the alleged lies to Congress date back to 2020. The former 5-year statute of limitations ran out at the end of September 2025, just days after the original indictment. With that indictment now treated as void, Curry signaled that the government is almost certainly time-barred from bringing those same charges again. In Letitia James' case, the alleged mortgage-related conduct is more recent, so prosecutors theoretically could start early, but only if a lawfully installed U.S. attorney decides the case is actually worth bringing. So in practice, this ruling probably ends the Comey criminal case for good while leaving a narrow, uncertain path to redo against James.
Nobody's going to prison.
Now, who is Judge Cameron McGowan Curry? Curry is a senior federal district judge nominated from the bench in 1994 by President Bill. She has a long record as a career lawyer and judge, federal prosecutor, state deputy attorney general, magistrate judge, and then full district judge before taking senior status. So this one, for those that are familiar, if you want to know where this came from, it came from this judge. In past cases, she's been known for tightly enforcing procedural rules and has issued notable First Amendment decisions striking down a South Carolina law that favored a Christian-themed license plate and blocking certain state speech restrictions. Rulings often praised by civil liberties groups, but criticized by some conservatives. In this situation, she was brought in from outside Virginia by Chief Judge in the Fourth Court to handle the Halligan appointment fight. So anyway, they just, so anyway, that goes on. There's two competing narratives here, but, again, outmaneuvered by the judicial branch and Pam Bondi, her efforts are going to die in vain there. Maybe they'll have a case with James. We're very pessimistic here about this. And again, we're not the Debbie Downer show, folks. We're just getting you the information before you understand.
Yeah, we're just being realistic.
Just being realistic.
We're not pom-pom fanboys here, just cheering for politicians and hooray. No, we're interested in, listen, hey, Travis, there ain't nobody going to prison, bro.
No, I think we know this.
There's
I think
nobody.
Nobody.
Nothing's changing.
Yep.
Nothing is changing. We're screwed. We're screwed.
All right. Let's go to another. So this one caught my attention because while we were talking about FEMA, I always think about the Department of Education in our public schools and the taxes I'm paying for locally, that if I don't, I'll lose my house. So I don't really own it. Yeah, there was a recent story about a teacher that just went to jail for abusing kids for years and somehow got away with it. And it just made me want to prompt some of these reports to seeing out how long this has been going. This is almost like when everything was going on with the Catholic Church and the priests abusing kids. And everybody harps on this one. But when it comes to, for whatever reason, public education, nobody talks about it.
No.
So,
you know why?
We'll go ahead and talk about it.
You know why they don't talk about it, right?
Why is that?
Because parents know deep in their heart that they're complicit in child abuse whenever they send their kids to public school. They know they're guilty. Parents know in their heart that they're literally feeding their children to the lions. They know it, and they do it.
Don't believe us? Let's go through this one. This will make your stomach turn. Viewer discretion is advised on this one. Yeah, so I went and ran a report. The analysis reveals that sexual abuse in schools represent a widespread problem affecting an estimated 1 in 10 students. 1 in 10 students nationwide. With patterns of institutional cover-up, administrative transfers rather than termination. So like lemons, like passing around a used car, they just send them to another district and then it happens again. And inconsistent enforcement of mandatory reporting laws. So let me see if I can get this mic.
And by the way, for Travis, for everyone that gets caught, how many are out there?
There's like 5, 10 others.
Oh, no, more than that. There's probably at least 10 others that never get caught.
And for whatever reason, especially when Mark talks about this, they think we're attacking teachers. We're not attacking individual teachers, folks.
No.
Okay. But you are in the system. So when yeah, I am going to be a little rough with you and say that you should be cognizant of the teachers in your presence. If you're one of these good people, what are you doing about it? So instead of yelling at me and Mark about it, ask yourself, how can I help the problem and not go screech about my feminine approach to public schooling? Okay. The scope of sexual abuse in schools has been documented through multiple research initiatives, though exact figures remain difficult to establish due to underreporting and definitional inconsistencies. And 2004 Department of Education report, this is 2004. That's her name, Cheryl Shakeshaft. Why are the names?
Oh, no.
Why are the names?
Are you serious right now?
It's almost like it just feels so intentional.
Shake Shaft? That's almost like Nookie Kuz.
We can't cover anything seriously here. Okay. As many as 4.5 million students, approximately 10% of public schools, this is 2004. It's been worse since then, have been sexually abused or harassed by school employees and teachers during their school careers. This research was conducted through comprehensive analysis of surveys of K through 12 and remains one of the only federal commission studies to examine the pervasiveness of educators' sexual abuse. The only federally commissioned study, Mark. The only one. Why?
Because they know the
only role is self-preservation.
Yes.
If you commission more studies, people are going to be advocating against public schooling, and there might be some healthy changes.
No,
like getting rid of the Department of Education. Got to get rid of it.
That doesn't even scratch the surface. You have to get rid of educate.
So federal data collection has improved in recent years. For 2015-16 school year, the U.S. Department of Education Civil Rights Data Collection reported 9,649 incidents of sexual violence nationwide, of which 394 constituted instances of rape or attempted rape. By 2017-18, these numbers increased significantly to 13,799 total incidents and 685 cases of rape or attempted rape, representing a 43% increase in total incidents and a 74% increase in rape cases within just 2 years. Okay, so the question when I'm reading through this, is that because we're reporting it more? So now it's just catching up to the reality? Because I don't think they had a spike because it's happening more. I think we're just now starting to see how prevalent this shit is. That's what I think's going on here. Yeah, during the 2020 through 21 school year, school districts reported 2,700 incidents of sexual assault. And anyway, this goes on. 6% of students reported the abuse by a teacher. Just for someone to take action, leaving 94% either silent or confiding only in peers who are sworn to secrecy. So, yeah, I'm sure these kids get coerced in different ways from doing this kind of reporting, because it's not just the school itself. Sometimes the whole district will get involved. Who remembers the school council, the district council meetings, where if you were a parent that went in and you were complaining about the trans stuff or the pornography in the libraries there, you were labeled a white supremacist terrorist. You were actually drug out by police enforcement. Mm-hmm. So I'm sure that has to do with some of the underreporting. One of the most troubling patterns documented across multiple investigations and lawsuits is the practice known as passing the trash. The systemic transfer of educators accused of sexual misconduct to other schools or districts without warning the receiving institution. This practice allows predatory teachers to continue abusing children across multiple school systems, often with no permanent consequences beyond transfer. Research indicates that a public school employee who sexually abuses children is, on average, passed to 3 school districts and can abuse up to 73 children before they are fired or face legal consequences.
It's almost like they're working on doing it.
The Defense of Freedom Institute's analysis of federal data found that this practice persists despite federal law ostensibly prohibiting it. Oh, like gun laws. Man, that's interesting. Those gun-free zones. Put the laws on the book and they just keep finding ways to get around it, huh? The Every Student Succeeds Act, passed in 2015, explicitly requires districts that receive federal funding to have policies preventing passing the trash and prohibiting school personnel from aiding abusers in obtaining new employment. However, the U.S. Department of Education has not actively monitored or enforced compliance with this provision. Why does that agency still exist? Well, we know why. It's so they can help cover up this kind of shit. Collective bargaining agreements between teacher unions and school districts have been identified as key contributors to this problem. These agreements often follow for scrubbing of personnel files, ensuring that no record of abuse follows an offender for their next position. Secret separation agreements, negotiated as the price of an educator's departure, legally prevent districts from sharing information about allegations or misconducts. What in the actual hell, dude? Are you kidding me? Is anything relegated around the students? This is insane. Yeah, and you can go watch Libs at TikTok, and you can just watch all the people that are in these public education systems. God help us all. God help us all. In one case documented by NPR, a teacher named Jason Finnes received a secret separation agreement that prevented his former district from disclosing allegations that 4 female first-grade students had accused him of abuse between 2005 and 2008. When Finney was later hired at a New Jersey prep school, administrators had no knowledge of his history. Finney subsequently pleaded guilty to molestation at multiple schools. Addressing the systemic failure has proven difficult. Despite years of advocacy, only 2 states, Nevada and West Virginia, have laws specifically modeled on that provision to prevent passing the trash. Listen to this one, Mark. A few states have enacted related policies, but the issue remains carelessly ignored, according to these advocacy organizations. Guess what states is one of the worst?
Texas. Absolutely. Greg Abbott.
Fucking Texas.
Texas is lost, man.
Texas, Indiana, Louisiana, Missouri. Oh, well, of course, Indiana. They got statues of Alfred Kinsey over there. Why wouldn't they? Why would they? Don't want to stop this stuff over there.
No, to promote it.
All right. Here's some of the high-profile cases in case some of you forgot. In May 28, 2021, sexual assault at Stonebridge High School in Loudoun County, Virginia, became one of the most nationally visible cases illustrating institutional failure. A 15-year-old girl was sexually assaulted by a 14-year-old male student who identified as a female in school bathroom, resulting in sodomy charges. The case drew national attention when the school's initial response involved dismissing the incident and failing to follow required Title 12 protocols. Court documents filed in civil lawsuit reveal multiple failures by school administration. School officials prevented the victim and her family from discussing the assault, and nearly 3 hours elapsed before they could locate the assailant. The victim reported that a guidance counselor initially refused to discuss the sexual assault, instead calling in the victim's parents and describing the incident as the victim having been beaten up by another student. See, these they're so fanatical about their trans ideology. They will actually shame an actual rape victim because it's unfair to the trans community. Police were only called when the teenage victim's father caused an incident at the front office after becoming upset about law enforcement's lack of involvement. That's right, folks. They didn't even get the police involved right away, and he had to freak out just to get the cops in there. The lawsuit documents that school administrators did not begin an investigation until nearly 5 months after the incident and failed to conduct a threat assessment of the assailant or provide required support services to the victim. When the victim attempted to return to school on June 1st, no safety plan was in place to protect her. You let your kid go back to school after that?
Of course they do. These parents, man. Travis, dude.
I know. I'm with you, man. It's so frustrating. What are y'all fucking doing, dude?
You send your kid to public school, you know you're playing Russian roulette with your kids, or you're an absolute retard.
Yeah, the victim was subsequently hospitalized for 2 weeks to treat physical, mental, and emotional trauma. Former Superintendent Scott Ziegler initially denied that any sexual assault had occurred in school bathrooms during a school board meeting on June 22nd, 2021. A statement made even after he had notified the school board of the attack via email on May 28th. And the sheriff's office was actively investigating. So he knew that. But in the school board meeting, the father was the bad guy. Those white conservative people that are worried about their kids being raped by men in skirts. Oof, dude. Ziegler was later indicted on 3 misdemeanor charges for misconduct and was ultimately found guilty of using his position for retaliation. The family filed a $30 million civil rights lawsuits against the school system, with the victim's father being pardoned by Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin after he had disrupted a school board meeting discussing the district's transgender policies. Critically, after his conviction at the initial school, the same perpetrator was transferred to a second school, Broad Run High School, where he committed a second sexual assault on October 6, 2021, before facing the additional charges. Of course, this kid went and did it again. He saw the whole apparatus of this stupid-ass trans community, everybody in the school board covering for him. So, of course, he did it again.
Parents just keep sending their kids to public school.
This
They just keep
transfer
sending their
without
kids.
protective measures or notification of the victim's family exemplifies the passing the trash mechanism at work. It happens with students that are doing sexual assaults, and it also happens with teachers committing these sexual assaults. Did y'all grasp any of that? What I just covered there? Okay.
And
The school board knew this happened. They covered it up. They didn't even treat the victim right away. And then they sent the kid and transferred him to another school so he could attack another victim. This is...
And I'm telling you, part of the problem, Travis, are all these white knighters out there and these crazy feminists. They're conservative neocon feminists, and they're out there pretending that they're going to fix public school. Do you know how much money is tied up in campaigns and school boards?
You got money tied to it.
You can't fix this.
Money being tied to it. You've got everything under the sun.
And these people that run for these school boards and things like that,
They're
sick people because, number one, they know you can't fix this. It has to be disbanded. All they're doing is they're going to make a name for themselves on the school board so they can go to the next level as a politician. It's a stepping stone as a politician. I am telling you this.
Oh, and you got to defend the public schools in Texas. For whatever reason.
You got to. What Mark, what will we do with that public
That means to be a disqualifier for conservative candidates, by the way.
Absolutely.
That you're not an advocate for the public schooling system and elimination of property taxes. John Boucher, if you're still listening.
Yeah.
A lawsuit filed in September 2025. I'm just going to go through it here. We're just going to go through these examples today of what we're talking about. This is September 2025 against the Los Angeles Elementary School sexual abuse case reveals a pattern of institutional protection of an abuser spanning decades. Former students, now adults, allege they were repeatedly abused by a longtime teacher during class and on school grounds, with indictments spanning from the 1980s into the 2010s. The complaint describes a pattern of warnings that, when unheeded, parents, students, teachers had alerted administrators of indecent exposure, masturbation in the classroom, and other sexual misconduct. Instead of alerting law enforcement or removing the teacher, the district is accused of intimidating victims, disregarding faculty concerns, and using tenure protections to shield the abuser. The lawsuit references disturbing evidence discovered in 2011 when photographs confirmed allegations that children have been given food tainted with bodily fluids. Okay.
Whoa!
Listen. This is graphic, guys.
Whoa!
I remember when the story this came out, this guy was putting...
Dude.
Guys, no, you got to understand the horror. He was putting his semen in spoons and feeding it to kids.
In what? Putting him what? In what?
He was spoon feeding his semen to these kids. Despite this horrific evidence, plaintiffs argue the district obstructed investigations by falsely claiming no prior complaints existed, allowing the abuse to continue for decades. The complaint explicitly alleges that defendants concealed the sexual abuse of children in order to protect their reputations, despite knowing that those persons would continue to molest children. That's right, folks. You get in these districts, you get on these boards, you get your tenure. They absolutely, this is a machine that's going to keep going, even if you got teachers in here spoon feeding kids fucking semen. This is how bad it's gotten. And this was over the 80s into the 2010s. Decades of this stuff. Okay. So there's not
a day that goes by.
Whatever stupid feminine reason we've got, we all want to rush around and circle. It's for the children and all this stuff. It's like, guys, this is a problem. This is a huge problem. Okay, let's go through another one. Business Insider's 2023 investigative series titled The Predator's Playground uncovered evidence of decades of sexual abuse at Rosemead High School involving more than 20 adult staff members. The investigation corroborated accusations through interviews and official school documents ranging from lewd remarks about students' bodies to statutory rape. The reporting detailed a system in which sexual misconduct allegations were investigated by the school itself rather than being reported to law enforcement in accordance with state law. That's right. Yeah, they just didn't go to the authorities. They handled it internally, make sure that they don't get reprimanded, make sure tenure goes on, and find a way to just hush, cover it up, and it goes from there. The investigation found repeated instances where employees faced misconduct allegations, but were able to keep that information secret by switching schools, passing the trash practice. Several cases documented by Business Insider revealed employees who faced misconduct allegations were investigated by the school, but didn't report to law enforcement. In multiple instances, teacher who made sexual innuendos to students received only informal warnings like "have better judgment." Yeah. You're with one reprimanded teacher allowed to remain on staff. Just use better judgment when you're being a pedophile. Okay. This investigation directly triggered action at the state level. So just more laws passed, even though there's laws already on the books to help prevent this stuff from happening. But let's just pass another one, and California can say, hey, good job, Gavin Newsom, and then it just continues to go on forever. Trinity Valley. A lawsuit filed in March 2025 against Trinity Valley School in Fort Worth, Texas, alleges that more than a dozen young girls were sexually abused by a piano teacher, Trent Muse, during the 2022 through 23 school year, with abuse allegedly ranging from exposing himself to forcing them to touch him. What distinguishes this case is the school's response. Parents allege the school covered up the abuse by telling families that Muse left for personal reasons and encouraged families to continue lessons with Muse off campus.
Doesn't surprise me. Dude, that shouldn't surprise any of us. Any parent that would send their kid to public school knowing what they know, they're capable of anything, bro. They're capable of anything.
Court documents show Muse was arrested in June 2024 and faces at least 5 counts of indecency with the child. The lawsuit quotes an attorney noting the school lacked transparency and took steps to make sure things weren't uncovered. Victims' families reported that girls were dragged into class crying and that the school, oh my God, dude, this is okay. My God. Man, this is a huge one. Here's some recent settlements just to warm your heart out there, folks. Crook County, as I forget who termed that.
Oh, yeah.
Illinois jury returned a $15 million verdict in June 2025 against a Board of Education, J. Sterling at Morton High School, District 201, finding the district accountable for allowing prolonged sexual abuse of a student by his female music teacher. The victim testified from that from late 1998 through mid-2000, nearly 2 years, he was sexually assaulted multiple times per week, including during class hours on school grounds. Multiple complaints from students, teachers, parents over a 4-year period. They did nothing and covered it up. Another one, a jury in Los Angeles awarded $48 million to 6 former students of South El Monte Elementary who were sexually abused by a longtime teacher. Jacqueline Ma, a teacher of the year, 2022 through 2023 at Lincoln Anchorage Elementary in National City, was sentenced to 30 years to life in May after pleading guilty to 2 counts of forcible lewd acts on a child and possessing child sexual abuse material. She had groomed victims with gifts and special attention, luring them with unsanctioned after-school programs and directing them to massage her through school chat applications. She had been performing sexual acts on a 12-year-old boy in her classroom while his parents believed he was attending after-school basketball program. In October 2025, Victor Halley Union High School agreed to a $12.5 million settlement in a lawsuit brought by 8 survivors alleging sexual abuse by staff. Berryessa Union School District paid $10 million to settle a lawsuit by survivors of Ronald Dean Gardner, who was sentenced to 22 years in prison. The district had allowed Gardner to teach for years, despite a 2003 report for inappropriate touching and sexually explicit language directed at students. In May 2025, the Twin Rivers Unified School District in Sacramento reached a $6 million settlement to resolve claims of sexual abuse against a former elementary school teacher who had sexually assaulted students as young as 7 years old. Guys, this goes on. These are all these recent settlements that have happened this year. Millions of dollars. Millions of dollars. Yeah.
And for everyone that gets caught, there's 10, 20, 30, who knows? Travis, here's the deal. Why do you think a lot of people today go into the teaching profession? What do you think? What kind of a person does it attract? Are they doing it for the money?
No.
They want access to the kids. I think our public school system has deteriorated to a point now where I think your pedophiles, male and female, just realize it's super easy access to kids. And
isn't it interesting to note how we just start recently collecting data on this stuff from the Department of Education? We already have laws in the book and they're not even been followed
because they know
these are sinners for this to run rampant, dude.
Yes,
absolutely. Okay. I want to get to some of the good news because Trump did announce a permanent migration pause, but a lot of this rhetoric.
What is a permanent pause by definition?
We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Oh, okay. All right. Am I jumping the gun?
You're jumping the gun.
Okay.
Okay. So all of this stemmed from this shooting that happened this past week. Okay. I'm going to get into this shooter because this is interesting. On November 26, 2025, 29-year-old Ramanula Lockenwall.
It's easy for you to
Ramanula Lockenwall. Diversity is our strength.
Diversity. Love diversity.
A CIA-trained Afghan commando who spent nearly a decade conducting brutal operations with one of America's most elite and secretive paramilitary death squads allegedly drove 2,800 miles across the country from Bellingham, Washington to Washington, D.C., specifically to attack and ambush 2 National Guard members just blocks from the White House. The attack killed 20-year-old specialist Sarah Beckstrom and left 24-year-old Staff Sergeant Andrew Wolf critically injured. I don't know if Mr. Wolf made it.
He's still hanging on. He's still hanging on.
He's still hanging on. But here's what should terrify every American. Nearly 2 weeks after this meticulously planned cross-country assassination of U.S. military personnel, federal authorities still claim they don't know why he did it. No motive, no explanation, no ideology, just a CIA asset who passed through every vetting process for over a decade, suddenly deciding to execute American troops on U.S. soil, and the intelligence community insists it's a mystery. Mark, how many times are we going to cover shit like this, dude? I mean, another lone wolf.
Yeah.
Another lone wolf, Mark.
Man, there's a lot of lone wolves. There's so many.
Who has an officially confirmed CIA background.
Yeah.
Kind of like the 9/11 hijackers.
Hey, we know more about him in less than 2 weeks than we still know about the Butler, PA shooter. Why is that? I'm not trying to change the subject. I'm just saying we know more about this guy within 24 hours.
The motive that doesn't exist, right? The red flag the size of Texas. FBI Director Kash Patel confirmed the shooting is being investigated as terrorism and that the Bureau is examining his communications with contacts in Afghanistan, but nearly 2 weeks later, no motive have been announced. U.S. Attorney Roberts Pruitt described the attack as targeted and ambush style. This wasn't random violence. It was carefully planned. He drove 2,800 miles to carry this out. Think about that. A man doesn't drive across the entire continental United States, identify specific National Guard targets, conducting high visibility patrols, and execute a precision ambush attack without a clear motive. According to witnesses and authorities, the gunman opened fire without warning, shooting one Guard member, then leaning over to fire again before turning his .357 Smith & Wesson revolver on the second Guard member and firing multiple times. The FBI, the same agency that can usually identify a suspect's entire internet history, social media posts, and ideological leanings within hours, claims after nearly 2 weeks they still don't know why a CIA-trained operative attacked American soldiers. Yeah. Unless Tucker Carlson's out there putting out another... at least they have the FBI Rapid Response Twitter account to respond to these documentaries that give us more information than they ever did over the course of their investigation. Even with their own good guys in there, they just keep failing, right? Failing.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, the uncomfortable truth about this is the historical pattern of intelligence community, mainstream media desperately want to memory hole individuals trained, funded, or otherwise connected to U.S. intelligence agencies repeatedly show up as perpetrators in terrorist attacks on American soil. Let's start with the elephant in the room that still haunts this country. September 11, 2001, for over 2 decades, evidence has mounted that Saudi intelligence agents, individuals with documented connections to U.S. intelligence operations, provided critical support to the 9/11 hijackers, and that CIA and FBI deliberately suppressed this information. That is the 9/11 Commission report that still holds back a lot of redacted material. In 2024, new evidence suggested that at least 2 Saudi officials deliberately assisted the first al-Qaeda hijackers when they arrived in the United States. Omar al-Bayoumi, who the FBI stated in 2021 was a Saudi intelligence agent, helped hijackers find housing in San Diego, set up bank. They love San Diego. The FBI, the CIA, they love these operations out in San Diego, don't they, Mark?
Yep.
Set up bank accounts and take care of other needs immediately after they arrived. In 2022, the FBI assessed there was a 50-50 chance al-Bayoumi had advanced knowledge of the 9/11 attacks, you'd think. But here's the thing, guys. The CIA knew these men were al-Qaeda operatives and knew they were in the United States, but never told the FBI. According to declassified documents, the CIA's chronic failure before September 11th to share with other agencies the names of known al-Qaeda terrorists. I mean, you had Alex Jones screaming before this all went down. Yeah, at least 2 such terror. Yeah, they had plenty of opportunity to stop this before it happened. On August 23rd, 2001, less than 3 weeks before the attacks, Israeli intelligence gave the CIA a list of 19 suspects living in the U.S. who were believed to be mounting an imminent attack. The CIA took no meaningful action. On August 6, 2001, President Bush received a presidential briefing titled "Bin Laden Determined to Strike U.S." Yeah. And of course, let's not forget the CIA created, funded, and armed the very Mujahideen networks in Afghanistan during the 1980s that involved into al-Qaeda. So, again, we talked about this a little bit last week. We get involved in the Middle East. We help fund these bad guys. And then we tell the people here drinking out of their bomb the hell out of Iraq cups that if you don't support these, you're anti-patriotic, you're anti-American, you don't support our troops, you are with the terrorists. Y'all remember this? But yeah, we created these enemies, and then we come back home and tell you to support bombing them, and then we create more refugees that we then import back home who attack us more. And it almost seems like a plan.
Yep.
Fast forward to 2013. Of course, the CIA had added both to Maryland and Tisnarov, who detonated 2 Cooker bombs near the finish line of the Boston Marathon, killing 3 and injuring more than 260 people. Yeah, the CIA had them on the terrorist database 18 months before the attacks. In March of 2011, the FSB, Russia's intelligence agency, contacted the FBI requesting they investigate possible ties to Islamic extremists. The FBI conducted full background investigation, running his name against databases, questioning him, his parents, and finding nothing, or so they claimed. 6 months later, in September 2011, the Russian FSB separately contacted the CIA with the same warnings. And again, this goes on and on. Both the FBI, the CIA had them in their database as potential terrorists for nearly 2 years before he bombed these marathons. Russia warned multiple times. They secretly recorded phone conversations, his mom, in which they discussed jihad, and they sent these to the FBI. The FBI closed the investigation anyway. Here's where it gets more suspicious. Defense attorneys for these bombers claim the FBI had more than one visit with Maryland before the bombing, asking him to be an informant and report on the Chechen and Muslim community. God, you can't. What's up? So the FBI investigates the terrorists. They try to recruit them as an informant. They close the investigation despite foreign intelligence warnings, and then he commits a major terrorist attack.
How about that?
Maybe the FBI is doing their job.
Well,
if you're picking up what I'm putting down.
Yeah.
On November 5th, 2009, U.S. Major Nadel Hassan walked into Fort Hood, Texas, and opened fire on fellow soldiers, killing 13, injuring 32. The FBI had been monitoring Hassan's email communications with Anwar al-Awlaki, known as the Al-Qaeda leader, for months before the attack, and concluded it was fine. And it gets worse. Multiple colleagues at Walter Reed Army Medical Center had raised concerns about Hassan's behavior, including his anti-American comments. FBI interviewed him, and you know the rest from there. He still got to do what he did. Of course, the Oklahoma Election Day plot, October, just over a year before Lockenwall's attacks on October 24, 27-year-old Nasir Ahmad Tawhidi, another Afghan who worked as a security guard for the CIA in Afghanistan, was arrested for plotting an ISIS-inspired attack on Election Day. Tawhidi allegedly planned to use assault rifles to carry out a mass casualty attack on Election Day, targeting large public gatherings. Yeah, people forget about this. He had donated to ISIS charity in March 2024. So within just over a year, two separate Afghans who worked for the CIA in Afghanistan and were brought to the U.S. under Operation Allies Welcome have been involved in terrorism cases, but the government wants you to believe this is about vetting failures, right? Rather than something fundamentally wrong with the CIA operations. It's intentional.
Of course it is.
So somebody is directing these people. You can't make this stuff up. And it is what it is. I did see the narrative blaming Biden's Afghan withdrawal. Blaming the withdrawal, blaming Biden, blaming these programs, whatever the hell. Who is going to address why are these assets are conducting terrorism? When are we going to ask who in the U.S. is guiding these people? I mean, that's the basic one, right? Who's guiding them? Who's guiding them? Let's see here. Yeah, this goes on and on. And again, the zero unit CIA Afghan death squads. Why would you recruit somebody for a death squad in Afghanistan and then bring them back into our country? What the hell are we doing here, Mark? What are we doing?
We know what we're doing. And nobody's going to prison. Nobody. Travis, nobody's going to prison. No one.
Yeah, they knew why he did this. Okay. He was definitely activated. In intelligence operations, sleeper agents are assets placed in position years in advance and activated when needed. There's obviously there's a larger network here, just waiting to be activated. From ISIS to these trans communities to the Antifa. I'm convinced that's why we don't see a lot of Antifa in arrest. These people, these are coordinated groups. They're activated.
And they're protected.
Anyway.
And all the politicians.
No American officials have created or have been reprimanded for this. The CIA trains them, the FBI monitors them, and then they attack us. I'm sure it's just a coincidence and just a vetting failure there, Mark.
Oh, I'm sure. It's
all right.
Nobody's going to jail. Nobody's going to jail, dude. Nobody. I mean, nobody's going to jail.
Well,
Nobody.
let's see. We'll move on to the next story because it led to this, and I think this is some good news. We'll see what comes out of this. But Trump has announced one of the most comprehensive immigration policy shifts in modern American history, declaring it a permanent pause on migration from all third world countries. While vowing to terminate millions of Biden-era illegal admissions, denaturalize disruptive migrants, and dramatically surge deportations. Man, this is good news, I think.
Well, hang on.
We want to see it be followed through. Now, here's the other part that I think I know you're going to get to.
No, question.
Why a permanent pause?
No question.
Why are we pausing it?
Okay,
why not?
That's an oxymoron. It's an oxymoron. Permanent
pause.
That's like jumbo shrimp. That is an oxymoron. It cancels one another. Permanent pause. A pause is by definition
not permanent. It's temporary, right? It's not
so
permanent.
Travis, I'm not.
What are we doing, dude?
I know what we're doing. I know exactly what we're doing. And when the midterms come along, dude, party is over. Because people are not going to go vote, Travis. They're just not going to vote. Nobody's going to prison. Permanent pause. What the hell does that even mean? You think, all right.
Yeah, and this can go on. I mean, we've already had enough reasons to put an outright ban on legal and the refugee status, all of it just being just eliminated. That's what we're asking for. We're not asking for something stupid like like the rhetoric for a permanent pause. Yeah, it's some good news. Is it a step in the right direction? Sure.
Is it? Is it?
Yeah, and maybe
how do you know?
It's like a half step.
How do you know? How do you know? What does it even mean? Nobody can tell me what it means. What is a permanent pause? What is that? We don't even have mass deportations
This is
yet.
part of the vision of reverse migration.
Well,
represents more than simply halting the flow of problematic immigration. It envisions actively reducing the illegal and disruptive populations that have accumulated during decades of failed policy. That's a big ask, man. I just want to see the fruits of this endeavor here. You know, right now it sounds more like PR positioning when you say permanent pause, because it's like Mark said, a pause is temporary by definition. It's not permanent. So we'll see how this goes. Let me see some more.
Nobody's going to jail.
Permanent pause.
Oh, and by the way, the elections haven't been fixed either.
Yes, we still don't have a rest over the election. We still got a lot of work to do in a lot of these different regards, but
none of it's getting done.
Yeah, guys, you know, slowly over time, we're just seeing, you know, there was a lot of momentum building there, a lot of optimism, a lot of hope, and it's slowly starting to go away where we can't even look at this. And I mean, you got to be realistic about it. So we'll see if this is more PR posturing after the dramatic and abysmal failure on the Epstein files and everything in between there. Yeah, so the State Department immediately suspended visa issuance for all individuals traveling on Afghan passports. Why just Afghanistan? Not Somalia? Not Yemen? Not why? God.
Mogadishu? Somalia? You know, why? What are it's games? Travis, do you know why? Do you want to know why these government agencies and politicians do this? You want to know why they do it? Because they know the vast majority of Republican voters fall for it, because the vast majority of Republican voters watch Fox News. They listen to Sean Hannity. They listen to Clay and Buck. They get sucked into all the propaganda and they believe this stuff. They get so excited when they hear permanent pause and they post the winning and, you know, Trump's going to do it again. This is what I voted for. That's not what I voted for. I didn't vote for permanent pauses in legal immigration.
And
I voted for permanently eliminating all immigration, all of it. now, immediately, and then mass deportation.
Does it really? It takes the shooting of two that's what it takes to get this guy. This is what pisses me off, man. I'm right here with you, because it shouldn't take someone getting shot for this to go. We're seeing the results of all of this already. Okay, this is not sustainable. But what do I always say? When you see the same thing continue on, you're watching what's called a must-be agenda. This must happen to the United States. It's absolutely in the cards for every Western country to will go bomb the shit and cause turmoil over there and then import them here. And it's people that hate us, that want to conquer us, that want to enslave your women, your children, and do every god-awful thing under the sun. That needs to be the message. We understand that we're at war here, but the fact that it took this shooting to kick this off, it's not good enough.
No.
That's not good enough.
No.
That's not even close to being the parameter for success here. We know what's happening. We know what you can do, and to incentivize the dominant culture, the people that have lived here for centuries, that have family going back decades, you can incentivize them to have more kids and do everything in between. Instead, we're letting people get shot here, and then we're doing permanent pause, and we're doing PR posturing, and we're not addressing the root of the issue. So I could cover all the nuances on what they're going to do and the visas and all that. I'm not here to bore you. This is the reality. We've got these agendas, this war that's going on unabated, even with all of our team in position here. This isn't a fucking sports team. This is a worldwide battle that we're all in, and I'm just not seeing enough. And no, we're not on here to be Debbie Downers and shit and bash all over, but we're also not in a cult, okay? This is the reality of the situation we're in. And it's got to stop, man. It's absolutely got to stop. You can cheer for the good things the Trump administration's doing and everything in between there. But, man, that's not good enough. Waiting for National Guardsmen to get shot and killed is not a good enough reason to just start doing this. And only Afghanistan with a keen focus on that, it ain't good enough, man. It ain't good enough. It ain't good enough. It ain't good enough. Well, folks, we do appreciate you joining the Defiance Daily Show with us. Thank you for being part of our Debbie Downer program here this Monday.
Wasn't it Debbie Listen, we had a lot of fun, Travis.
Yeah, we had some fun. We got to tickle each other. That's why we start the show a little bit light. But, folks, you are in a war, and that's what we're here to remind you. So we'll be doing some more content creation. We've got teleprompters in here ready. We're going to be doing war reports on this type of thing. We're going to try to get into the weeds and give you some really exclusive content here at the Defiance Daily Show. Lots and lots of people joining us today. We are regularly.
Real quick, let me interrupt, Travis. Thank you for saying all that, because I am excited about this. We did a great interview with Stuart Rhodes on Friday, and it's out. It's on our YouTube channel and our Rumble channel, the full, and the shorts are going out as well. So it was a fantastic, he just came off of he was hosting the Alex Jones show that same week, and we got an interview with him on a Friday. So it's out now, and it's really
Stuart
awesome.
Rhodes, he's very insightful, very, very intelligent human being.
Super smart.
Very, his insights are very valued here over at the Defiance Daily Show. And we do appreciate him coming on. I really appreciate.
He's a friend of the show. He was good friends with your father.
He's a good friend of my dad's, and definitely really respect and appreciate Stuart Rhodes for everything you do out there. So definitely go check out that. Mark is always having quality guests on. Mark's got a knack for this kind of thing, and we really appreciate everything you do over there, Mark. So tune in every Monday, 12 p.m. Central Standard Time, 12 p.m. So noon every Monday Central Standard Time. You can catch us live here on the broadcast. We just take it in whatever direction. All right. There's a little pre-scripted going on here as far as pulling some of the reports on these stories. We try to get into some depth, go down a little bit of rabbit holes here, and really just trying to document the reality and the nature of our situation here, because you can only get better once you do that. And there's a lot of things that need to change. A lot of these institutions that we tend to worship, that we tend to, for whatever reason, we've been psychologically programmed, a lot of us, especially you older folks, to just defend these agencies like they're ancient churches or something. It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my whole lifetime, but they got to go. There's no reforming this stuff.
No, you can't.
I think we've seen enough now to know these things are too far gone. You're not watching CSI. You're not watching these shows that are meant to give you this image of what these cops do and chasing down the bad guys. It is nothing like you see on TV. It's meant for you to think. It can be entertaining. Fiction is very entertaining. That's why they give us such heavy doses of it. So, yeah, it's really important that we understand a lot of these agencies, and we talk about reform, and we're going to bring there ain't no bringing a lot of this stuff back until you get rid of it. So whether you're talking about the migration issues, you're talking about these investigative bodies, the FBI, the CIA, the ATF, all these other groups, they're all compartmentalized within their own agency, and they all have a specific role. And yes, real arrests are happening. That's not saying that nobody within these agencies aren't doing good things. But the main purpose of them is to hide and cover and self-preserve what exactly is going on here. Because there's narratives, there's agendas that have to be pushed. And you can't do it without two sides fighting against each other. And you can't do it without absolute chaos happening around you that they create. Because within the realms of the chaos, they bring the solutions. Then you keep voting and you keep giving these agencies more money, more power. And then the trillions of dollars in debt keeps being kicked down the road. And we're still not anywhere in place to address serious issues like this. We're still talking about, all the stuff that doesn't mean anything. Okay. That's the problem we're issued here. So tune into the Defiance Daily Show to hear some more deep takes on these kinds of things. And we'll steer you straight. And we really appreciate it. We are averaging in the thousands now per show. I really, really appreciate that stuff, guys. That's a huge responsibility. So we're trying to get quality here. We're also trying to make you laugh. All right. Trying to make you laugh here at the same time.
Funny. We're funny as hell.
Yeah, we're funnier.
If somebody doesn't think we're funny, I'll kick your ass.
Mark will do that. He'll come
we
out
take this humor. We take it serious, Travis. My God.
We'll beat it down there. But Mark, let's bid him adieu on this Monday.
Hang on 1 second, Travis. Hang on. It is the Christmas time of year.
Yes,
and I feel Christmas in the air. And I want to really make a big deal about Christmas this year because it's something that's going away, and I want to fight back on that. So I think next week you and I don't tell each other what we're going to do, but we need to wear something with a Christmas theme to it. And let's just surprise one another and surprise our audience.
So I can be the only one to dress up and you could sit
there.
No.
I will. Dude, you know me. I love Christmas. I love Christmas.
You are a Christmas boy.
I'm a Christmas guy. So I think you and I don't need to spend no money, but just come. Dude, you got a beautiful, creative wife. And she'll come up with something really cool.
We'll do it closer towards Christmas. How about that?
What?
Okay, I'm not taking off my suit for nobody.
No, you can wear your suit. Travis, you can wear your suit. Travis, you can wear your suit. It might just be a hat. It might be an elf hat. Maybe it's elf ears. Just something like that.
I got you.
You see what I'm saying? Okay, so you and I, we're going to do something a little Christmas themed next week. Now, maybe the week of Christmas, right before, we'll do something a little more. But next week,
we got it. Can we do it closer to Christmas?
No, this is not a big deal. Travis,
fine.
We're just gonna kind of
tune in next week to see whatever we got concocted up for Christmas. All right, and we'll do a Christmas special. Okay, there you go.
Oh,
Mark.
Travis,
how about that, buddy?
Can we do like the little drummer boy? Dum.
You're my little drummer boy.
Dum 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 dum. Right.
It's going to be like a scene from The Office in here.
I was going to say, we got to do it. Oh my God. Have some of that stuff lined up. Hey, Travis, have some of that lined up. You can start doing that now. Just a couple of them mixed in. We'll get more of them as we get closer. Just get a couple of Okay. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Think about it. No, folks, you're watching the Defiance Daily Show. Again, tune in every Monday, 12 p.m. Central.
Standard.
We'll be live. And also watch out for our material. We put out a lot of short clip content. Really appreciate all the traffic you guys have been generating on. Hopefully it looks like we're doing something right. So really appreciate that, folks. Also, don't forget to check out defiancepress.com. Support our authors, folks. Go and check out the book catalog and our inventory there. A lot of different genres and categories in there. And Christmas around the corner. Birthdays are coming. And if you are in the market for a book publisher, hit that Get Published link at defiancepress.com or reach out to us at 281-581-9300. Again, that's 281-581-9300. And of course, before I get off the show, we can't do this without your support. So definitely want to make sure I let you know we appreciate everything you guys do here. And none of this would be possible without your support, but especially without the fruits and labor of the man, the myth, the legend, and that's Pops there. That's David Thomas Roberts. Think about you all the time, Pops. We love you. We miss you. And we carry on here at Defiance under that badass logo that you had made for us. And we love you to pieces, Pop. We love you and Mama. Mama, shout out to you, Mama. We love you too.
Got him in the picture right behind me.
Got him in the picture right behind me. I always carry him on my my thumb here. So he's always with us, and we love you, Pop. So, Mark, let's officially bid them adieu.
We bid all of you all adieu. We very much appreciate each and every one of it. We really do. Thank you so much. Don't be shy to hit the share button, the like button. Send us some comments. We'll answer. Tell your friends and family. Don't be ashamed. Don't be shy. Get your corn from the kettle corn guy.
That's
because
right,
we're
folks.
here. Yeah. And we love you all. Stay vigilant, eternal vigilance. Stay armed. Keep your head on a swivel. Please be safe. Protect your family. And come back and join us next week.
Come back and join us next week. Hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. I always say this as well. Stay ready. Stay reliable. There's lots of people that love you, that depend on you, especially you men out there. So make sure always keep that at the forefront of your mind. Stay reliable, stay ready, and stay armed. God bless you all. Have a great day.
Thank you, guys.